Ewrop ydy testyn sgwrs yr wythnos sydd i ddod. Bale mewn chwiliad. Bale! A mae Bale di heddi di! Mae Bale yn canu cloch buddigoliaeth. Irving! John Irving! Yn danfon y Bala i Ewrop! Ar ôl colli mewn 2 rownd derfynol. Met Caerdydd sy'n mynd i Ewrop. Y le gan Les Davies. Allai tanio! Mae'r aros ar ben. Davies neu'r cardio. Mae Davies wedi gwneud glam ffordd a post o glam yr eilydd. O, drama. Shepherd. Dyw Cymru ni, mae na! Mae Holford yn Ewrop. Ar ben wythnos Eurovision, mae yna gystadleuaeth wahanol iawn yn uwch gyngred Cymru JD. Gemau ail gyfle a'r cyfle mawr i gyrraedd y llwyfan mawr. Mae'n arian mawr ar gael enillwyr hefyd. Caernarfon yn cwrdd â Met Caerdydd heno, y dre newydd yn ebyn pen y bont fori, y rownd derfynol wythnos nesa, a'r cyfan yn fyw i chi ar Sgorio. Am gyfnod, am noson sydd ni fan hyn yng Caernarfon, a'r cwmni wrth gwrs Owain Teddy Jones yn cael y cwmni fi, nos o ddawain.
Nos o ddol.
Eurovision yn dim sequence heno, falle ar ôl y gêm. Gen i weld sy'n eithi. Lot o drafod am y gyngred yma ar hyn o bryd, ble ni arni, be nesaf ran y gyngred, be sy'n gweithio, be sy'n ddim. Un peth sy'n teimlo fel bod yn llwyddiant yw'r gemau yma, gemau ail gyfle.
Does o ddim cwestiwn. Gemau ail gyfle, pawb wrth i bodda. Os rhywbeth ti'n teimlo bod yna rhai tîmau jyst yn safio hynna'n yn wythnosa ola'r tymor ar gyfer y gemau holl bwysig yma. Ac eich dyna di'r argraff efo'r 2 glwb yma. Fydden nhw wedi edrych ymlaen ys wythnosa, paratoi, eich ddim cweit yn siŵr pwy fysa nhw'n chwarae teg at diwedd y tymor, ond mae'r foment wedi cyrraedd ac oedden ni'n gweld yma yna riliadau moment iconic y gyngred dros y blynyddoedd dwytha. Fydd un o'r chwaraewyr ma'n gobeithio ma' nhw fydd yn creu y foment yna heno.
Mae'n rhaid i sôn am ddiwedd y tymor o ran y ddau yma. Dim wedi bod yn wych i'r ddau. Nenwedig Met Caerdydd. Ddim wedi chwarae tair wythnos hefyd oherwydd rownd y terfynol Cwpan Cymru. Hwnna'n ffactor?
Bosib iawn. Dwi'n meddwl fel tîm rheoli fysa ti'n gobeithio bod y seibiant bach jyst yn cymryd ei hun allan o'r sefyllfa lle ti ar rediad gwael. Dwi'n newid sôn y ffaith, mae siŵr bod ambell glwb, ella jyst yn tynnu'r droed oddi ar ysbardun, weithiau ti'n mynd gwybod bod chdi'n gwneud hynna, ac ella bod y 2 glwb yma wedi gwneud yn meddwl reit, da ni'n mynd i fod yn y gemau ail gyfle, da ni eisiau safio rhywbeth yn y coesa, ac y gobaith wedyn ydy fydden nhw'n barod amdani a'r coesa'n hollol ffres heno yma.
5 chweched heno o ran safleoedd, fori 4 yn ebyn 7 dre newydd pen y bont. Oes na ffefryn yn y gemau yma?
Na, ella ddim. Sa unrhyw un o'r 4 yn mynd â hi ac yn cyrraedd Ewrop, sa ti'n sbio nôl yn meddwl, ti'n gwybod be, ia, mae hynna'n gwneud synwyr. Pen y bont yn 7, wastad yn dîm, ti'n meddwl sy'n mynd i fod yn gry, ond y ffaith o Caernarfon yn chwarae adra yma, mae hynna'n gwneud nhw'n ffefrynnau clir yn y marn ni. Bod nhw'n dyn yn y gyngred efo Met, chwarae'n fama, fydd y dorf yn special yma ran yr awyrgylch heno yma, swn i'n tueddu i feddwl mae Caernarfon fydd y ffefrynnau heno yma.
Dyna ni, mae'r dorf yn dechrau cyrraedd. Mae'n teimlo fel un o'r nosweithi yna fan hyn ar yr ofal. Dewch chi glywed gan i'r rheolwr nhw. Felly, mae Siôn Dafydd wedi bod yn holi Richard Davies.
Richard, mae Caernarfon yn gobeithio cymryd 1 cam yn nes at gyrraedd Ewrop heno yma. Mae wastad cymaint o drama yn y gemau ail gyfle. Faint ych chi'n disgwyl mlaen i hon?
Dyna edrych ymlaen. Dyna oedd y nod o dechrau'r tymor trio cael ei ddechrau fe yn 6 ucha. A wedyn da chi o hyd efo chance efo play-off. Fydd hi'n gêm anodd. Dwi'n siŵr bod Cardiff Met yn gweithio'n galad ar Ryan yn gweithio i game plan nhw, ond chwarae teg mod i fi wedi bod yn gweithio'n ffantastig o galad hefyd. So na, edrych ymlaen i'r ceisio.
O ran eich gwrthwynebydd chi heno, yn edrych ar y record ben rhwng Caernarfon a Met Caerdydd tymor yma, sdim lot i bod rhwng y ddau o chi o gwbl. Ti'n credu bod ni'n mynd i gael game tin heno yma?
Yndan, mae yna gols wedi bod yn bob gêm, dwi'n meddwl. So dwi'n meddwl bod ti'n gêm gartra ni'n mynd i fod yn massive advantage. Dwi'n gobeithio fi cofio'r am i gyd nhw, dwi'n meddwl, efo ennill eisiau a gwneud dim bach o dŵr o i gato o firogi allu. Awrach na dyna fydd y gwaniaeth. Ond da ni'n gwybod da ni'n gallu creu lot. Mae'n mynd peth o'r rhywbeth da ni wedi bod yn proud o season yma di faint o gyfleon a faint o gols da ni'n sgorio. So gobeithio fyna lot o gols i ni hynna fyd.
Ie, mae rhaid i fi ofyn am y ffaith bod chi'n wario gytre fan hyn ar yr ofal hyn yma, Richard. Ti wedi sôn am y cefnogwyr yn barod, ond faint o hwb ti'n credu mae hwnna mynd i fod i ti ac i'r chwaraewyr ac i bawb sy'n rhan o'r tîm?
Mae'n masif. Mae'n dod ar gymuned at ei gilydd. Mae fwy na just football club. A mae just i gael y chance i fod yn y play-offs a rhoid yr achlysur yma iddyn nhw. dwi wedi cael fideos o falle digwydd a mae'n i gyd allan ystod 3 gloch yn barod, so dwi'n gobeithio fod nhw'n gwneud lot o dwrw a jyst ysbrydoli reid y 10% extra un o'r hwcia.
Eisiau, diolch yn fawr, poblwg.
Dyna'r olygfa uwchben yr ofal lawr am y castell Gwyl-fwyd Caernarfon fori am ben wythnos. Ac am noson sydd dan ni fan hyn. Y rheolwr yn sôn am y ffaith bod nhw'n sgorio lot o goliau. Maen nhw'n ildio tipyn hefyd. Hwna'n broblem?
Mae'n broblem fawr. So neb di ildio mwy na Caernarfon yn y gyngred tymor yma, ond dy job di fel rheolwr ydy canolbwyntio ar y pethau positif. A mae o'n teimlo fel chwaraewyr sydd ganddo ar y cae, y chwaraewyr ymosodol, bod na ddigon yna i sgorio goliau. A dim ond bai Colwyn a Caernarfon oedd i ildio mwy na Met Caerdydd hefyd, felly mae hynny'n gaddo goliau, gobeithio bod ni'n mynd jinxio.
Diddorol, rhywun sy'n bod yn mesg y goliau o ran Caernarfon, Louis Lloyd, ymwysodwr ifanc ddath o'r Wrexham. Chi'n meddwl am Caernarfon, chedwch ar Darren Thomas, Dion Donahue hefyd, Sean Bradley, Danny Gossett yr enw yna. Yw rhywun fel Lloyd sy'n mynd dan y reidar fel ffetai?
Ella, ond pan ti'n enwi'r chwaraewyr, ti'n newydd enwi ar profiad sydd ganddyn nhw, ti angen boes chydig bach fengach. Boes sydd efo egni, coesa ffres, a dyna'n union mae'r bachgen yma wedi ddod i'r tîm tymor yma. Mae'n beryg bywyd o flaen gol hefyd. Unrhyw chance, unrhyw sniff bach o flaen gol. Ti'n gweld pa mae'r siarp ydi o yn gallu symud i ffwrdd o unrhyw amddiffyn. Nid just y tîm at y gwylodion, felly mae wedi bod yn un da i ddod i fewn i'r tîm. Mae wedi adio gymaint i'r garfan, a just y cydbwysedd na o ran y profiad a'r boes efo lot o egni ti angenodol. Dyna mae wedi adio.
Yn ysdi grybwyll lle fyna, y goliau diwedd y tymor yn erbyn, Seinti Newydd, Connah, Bala, 3-1, felly mae fe'n gallu neud un erbyn y clybiau mwyaf.
Ie, os ti'n sbio ar hynna, ti'n meddwl, reit, mae gen i chwaraewr yn fama sydd yn gallu troi fyny yn y gemau mawr, a mae hynna mor bwysig. Yn aml, gyda rhywun sy'n sgorio goliau, ond sgorio lot o goliau yn ebyn y tîmau sydd at y gwylodion. Yn amlwg, mae o'n chwaraewr sydd yn licio y foment fawr, yn licio y gema mawr, ac yn sicr mae heno'n un o hynna.
Ydy, mae'n teimlo felly, mae'r awyrgylch yn dechrau tyfu fan hyn yn bendant. Ni wedi clywed gan reolwr Caernarfon, dewch ni clywed gan reolwr Met Caerdydd, Sioned gyda Ryan Jenkins.
Ryan, mae momentum mor bwysig yn mynd mewn i'r gemau ail gyfle. Mae fe'n dig i weid Met Caerdydd heb fod ar y rhediad gorau yn ddiweddar. Be sydd angen newid hyn o'ma?
Jyst i fynd nôl i ffordd ni ware, nôl i'n gwreiddio ni, egni uchel, dynamig iawn yn ei chwarae pert mewn ardaloedd cywir neu penderfyniadau cywir a jyst gyda'n gilydd mwy nag unrhyw beth arall. Dyna beth yn gwreiddio ni yn y clwb ac dyna beth yw bwriad ni heno.
Wedi sôn am y rediad gwael yna, ond yr un fuddugoliaeth chi wedi cael ddath yn erbyn Caernarfon. Faint o hwb mae hwnna i chi'n seicolegol hefyd? Beth sydd angen i chi wneud i drial wneud yr un peth yna?
Mae wastad yn galed fan hyn, yn sicr gyda'i cefnogwyr sy'n dod yma, maen nhw'n clwb arbennig o dda, ond dyma lle wnaethon ni wneud y tro diwetha pan wnaethon ni Ewrop, so mae hynny wastad i bod yn cefn un meddwl i ni, ac i fod yn onest, mae momentum yn bwysig, ond perfformiad sy'n fwy bwysig a mae boys dros y pythefnos, 2 wythnos diwetha yn sesiynau fforddi wedi bod yn absolutely superb, so fi ffili helpu o meddwl bod hyn yn mynd i fod yn bositif.
Nes ti sôn bod yna atgofion melys iawn gyda Met Caerdydd yn chwarae fan hyn yn erbyn Caernarfon, ond y ffaith bod chi oddi cartref, wrth gwrs ni disgwyl cryn tipyn o gefnogwyr i ddod yma hyn. O'i hwnna'n rhywbeth i chi wedi trafod?
Chydig bach, jyst i ddisgwyl pethau. Ni gadlu unrhyw beth, neu colli unrhyw beth yn ystod un bythefnos, 2 wythnos o ymarfer, a ni wedi trafod y pethau yma wrth gwrs, ond hefyd beth ni wedi trafod yw sut all ni newid y ffordd ni ware i osgoi nhw i teimlo fel bod y momentum dyn nhw. So, ni wedi paratoi am bob achlysur.
Rhaid, diolch, poblwg.
Ryan Jenkins, ar Met yn barod o blaen. Mae rai ni sôn am ei record nhw diwedd tymor. Dwi'n Caernarfon ddim wedi bod yn wych hefyd, ond ers Nadolig, Met yn colli 7 allan yr 8 ola yn y gyngred. Yr un fuddugoliaeth yn erbyn Caernarfon sy'n amlwg yn help, ond faint o broblem yw hwnna?
Mae o'n broblem. Clywed Ryan yn siarad y fan ar ffaith bod y chwaraewyr wedi bod yn ymarfer yn dda yn y pythefnos 2 wythnos dwytha. Diolch moch am y sesiwn ymarfer. Y gema sydd yn bwysig. Felly, dwi'n siŵr sef wedi colli cwsg, wedi cael ambell i gur pen yn y nosweithiau a'r dyddiau a'r wythnosau dwytha yma yn gobeithio. A dyna ydi o, ti jyst yn gobeithio bod y boys yn mynd a sut oedden nhw'n ymarfer allan ar y cae, ond mae heno mynd i fod yn anodd iawn iddyn nhw, dwi'n teimlo.
A mae rhediad ar ei cyd-fynd a digwyddiad oddi ar y cae, ni wedi gweld Emlyn Lewis yn cael ei holi i adael y clwb gyda Charlie Cosby hefyd. Be bynnag sydd wedi digwydd, faint mae hynny'n gallu effeithio stafell newid?
Mae'n gallu effeithio stafell newid lot, ond dwi'n meddwl bod ni'n sbio ar y sefyllfa o'r tu allan yn meddwl, pan fysa ti'n cael gwared ar emlyn yn enwedig, o bosib chwaraewr gorau, chwaraewr pwysica, mwyaf dylanwadol y tîm, ond yn amlwg i gael emlyn o'na, efo'r gemau pwysig yma ar y gweill, mae Ryan Jenkins yn teimlo fod y stafell newid yn well heb emlyn. Felly, dim ni sydd wedi bod yn y stafell newid i'w bod yn union beth sy'n mynd ymlaen, ond mae'r pwysau ar y chwaraewyr heno yma i berfformio, i gael ei hunan rownd i'r rownd derfynol heb emlyn lewis. Mae hwnna'n mynd i fod yn dipyn o dasg.
Ie, a mae pethau rhyfedd yn gallu digwydd nag sef. Met i bron colli pob gêm fwy na lai, ond pwy a wyr os mae nhw fydd y tîm sy'n mynd yr holl ffordd i Ewrop. Felly, dyna ni, Owain, diolch yn fawr iawn am y tro. Y ddau dîm yn barod amdani fan hyn, a drychwch ar yr olygfa yma. Mae rhaid i sôn, cyn fi fforwelio Owain, o'n i'n gweud bod ti'n mynd, mae rhaid i sôn am hyn, mae lle yma, noson fel hyn, mae'r potensial yma i gael tipyn o dorf, nag oes e?
Yndi, a dyna sy'n gwneud gwahaniaeth, ynddo. Ti'n sôn am y gyngrair, beth sy'n angen newid pan ti'n cael chydig bach o hael, a pan ti'n cael gêm fawr, gêm bwysig, mae o'n reswm i pawb ddod allan. Pawb yn y gymuned, wrth i bodda, di bod yn enjoy hynna'n drwy'r dydd, dwi'n meddwl. Dwi'n siŵr fydden nhw jyst yn edrych ymlaen ac yn gobeithio bod yna gêm arall i ddod tymor yma.
Wel ie, dyna'r gobeith i'r ddau dîm yma, rownd derfynol penwythnos nesaf. Pwy fydd yno wrth i ni fynd draw ein tîmau sylwebu? English language commentary is available. Nick Parry and Chris Hughes waiting for you there. Chris, former Newtown manager, won this competition twice. Felly Chris gyda Nick a hefyd yn Gymraeg, yn barod amdano chi. Cyn ymwysodwr Cymru, Malcolm Allen sydd gyda Bryn Thomas.
Thank you, Dylan. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the playoff drama, Act 1. And what a magnificent stage we have for the players. For someone, it will end as a tragedy. And with the sun shining, supporters literally in T-shirts, a balmy spring evening. What awaits us? Hopefully, yet another playoff semi-final that will produce the drama that we've become accustomed to. And for the occasion, both teams have made 2 changes, with Mark Williams and Dion Donoghue returning to the Caernarfon side, whilst Tom Price and Barney Sodi return to play in the Met Cardiff side. And 2 sides who've had a pretty grim end to the season, both on poor runs, but they know that form goes out of the window tonight.
Evening, Nick. Evening, everyone. You can see from Caernarfon, so whether they'll play a 3, we think they might go with a 4 tonight, and 3 midfield and 3 up front, with Bradley and Lloyd either side of Clark, and Owen going to right back and Donoghue to left back, with the 3 midfield. And then Met, again, we're not sure whether they'll start with a 3 or start with a 4, but you know, Elliot Evans and Jones and Vincent will be a huge threat for him tonight as well. So, you know, it's got everything to be a real good game tonight. We're really looking forward to it, and you know, it's the one where everything stops tonight, everything ends. So we've got Sean Bradley on screen there, been a real threat for Caernarfon this season. I think they've missed him. He's suffered an injury playing for Wales here, I think, and missed a large chunk of the back end of the season, but he's come back in the last couple of games, and he'll be one that, you know, be looking to hurt Cardiff Met tonight. And then we've got Elliot Evans, who's going to cause a few problems, I'm sure, for Cardiff Met. So you know, he'll be looking to get in behind Donoghue and cause Donoghue some problems down that Caernarfon's left and Cardiff Met's right.
Tonight's referee, Mark Petch from Deganwy, a cook by trade. And Chris, a delight to have you with us, the only manager to have won the playoffs twice and taken a team to Europe. Does form go out of the window?
I knew you were going to ask me that. Look, I think, you know, both sides haven't been in great form coming into it, but I think there's almost a point where you get to that second half of the season, you've got TNS, you've got Quay, you've got Bala, you play them twice in a matter of weeks, and it becomes very difficult. And I'm sure both managers throughout the second phase have been thinking about tonight and knowing that their path, and you know, that's the thing, Newtown, Cardiff Met and Caernarfon have all known their path. Obviously Penabont have had a slightly different path, but they've all known their path, so you know, it's got everything to be a really good game tonight.
And the general view about the place is that Caernarfon need to start positively in the faces of the visitors. And it'll be interesting to see if that is the philosophy. A little bit of a hesitation. Owen clears up. Only as far as McCarthy. It's a good early ball towards the masked Vincent. A little bit sloppy from Gossett. And Sodi, one of the two changes in the visitor side, has the ball.
Yeah, it looks like Cardiff Met have got into a back four with Craven and McCarthy, with Evans and Chubb at centre-half. So it looks like they're going with a back four. And Caernarfon, as we thought, in a back four as well.
Chubb waited too long. And that's a very early strike from Darren Thomas. And that emanated from hesitant play by Chubb, and that really was a chance. He struck it well, Gossett. And is this the early momentum that we were talking about? Lloyd.
Good play by Louis Lloyd. He never gave it up, and he just got a toe to it there from Matt Chubb, and it was an early effort for Caernarfon, and that'll give them loads of confidence.
And if there's one player that you don't leave free to strike, it's this man, Darren Thomas.
Yeah, just seeing there, just gets a toe. Yeah, good work by Lloyd, pulls it back, and then it just falls to Darren, and then it's a decent block as well by Chris Craven. So yeah, a good start for Caernarfon. I think for me tonight, Nick, one of the battles will be Elliot Evans and Danny Gossett.
Yeah.
I think they're playing against each other. You can see, we can see it up here. Elliot will play in that number 10 role. Danny will play in that deep line midfield role, and it'll be a real battle for between the two of them tonight.
Williams got his head to that. Owen.
It's an interesting one tactically, because both sides have probably played a back three for the majority of the season, but both managers, Ryan and Richard, have decided to go with the back four tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
Dion Donoghue back in the side this evening. Over 100 appearances in the League Division 1. And here's an opportunity again for the very promising Morgan Owen to pass to Louis Lloyd. Louis Lloyd has time to look and cross. It was important, so important that Lang came out. He did really, really well. Bradley, too many to beat, but two positive strikes by the home side.
We talked about starts of the game before. Louis Lloyd has started the game exceptionally well. He worried Chubb in the first minute for the shot, and now he's just got in behind McCarthy and put a decent ball in, and Lang had to scramble across his line. So I'm sure that'll be something that Rich and the coaching staff will have looked at with Louis Lloyd. He's been a real threat this year, and trying to get him in and around McCarthy and causing him a problem.
Mark Williams.
It was also a really good ball by Morgan Owen as well, just down the sides of him.
Well, there's a lot of talk about Morgan Owen. Chubb clears only as far as Owen again.
Yeah, great ball down the side. Little look up, little glance, and yeah, decent keeping. He comes out, and I'm sure Darren would be thinking he's just about going to tap that in and give Caernarfon a dream start. But listen, you don't matter how you keep it out, he used his feet, but he got there in the end. But it's a good start certainly by Louis Lloyd.
Sodi asks Vincent to give chase. It's a comfortable pass back to Tibbetts.
It's an interesting one with Tibbetts, isn't it? Because he obviously played for Caernarfon, and then they had the goalkeeper Webb, who's got an injury, and then they brought him back in. So he's someone that's familiar with the club, familiar with the players, familiar with the coaching staff. So he slotted in quite well over the last 2 or 3 games for them.
Not the finest start for Gossett, and that's possession given away very, very cheaply
Yeah, Richard will be really happy with the start. And I've just seen a long throw for Cardiff Met dealt with there, but Richard will be really happy with the start. You know, got him behind them twice. You know, a shot on goal and a cross that the keepers had to work to defend, and that's all you can ask for that, is make the opposition work.
Good play by McCarthy. Out towards Sodi. Sodi, as Tibbets watches that go all the way, and Barney Sodi, one of the two changes.
Yeah, Ryan will be disappointed with that. They've got Vincent in there, who's a real threat physically, and you know, they're kicking the ball out of play when you're trying to cross it. Maybe a little bit of nerves, but you know, Matt just got to settle in the game, and I'm sure that will be something they would have spoke about before. Look, listen, we know there's going to be a big crowd, they're going to make lots of noise. Caernarfon are going to come out the traps and start well, and you've just got to work your way into the game and try and keep the ball, and don't give away any free kicks or anything that can get the crowd up and get Caernarfon up.
McCarthy asks Evans to give chase.
But obviously, if you're Rich, you'd be really happy with the first 6 and a bit minutes. You know, we got him behind Cardiff Met twice and caused them some problems, and certainly Louis Lloyd has started well.
And Tibbets playing his 4th game since his return. In the 3 that he has played, he's conceded 14 goals, but it has to be said that 7 of those were in one match against the New Saints.
I think he got man of the match that night as well. I'm sure he did. I'm sure I remember seeing the game, and he made 3 or 4 very, very good saves as well.
Yep, that's Williams penalised. That tussle with Kabongo. And young and old, the enthusiasm has been building up in the town of Caernarfon since mid-afternoon. Kabongo looks if he's going to be okay, but it's a free kick to the visitors.
Yeah, it gives a little bit of chances to take the sting out of the game. They can set it up, they can get Chubb up there, and Joe Evans and Vincent, you can see them talking that they're obviously trying to set something up. So, you know, they've had 3 weeks since the last game, so you'd expect, you know, that they've been working on their set plays, their free kicks, their corners, both teams. So you might see a couple of pre-arranged deliveries.
Of course, Vincent's the target, and he does get his head to it, but there's a chance for Clark to clear. And Met will feel that they need a period of settling down to try and douse this early Caernarfon momentum. And a word of advice from coach Ryan Jenkins. Yep, there first was Kabongo. Good play by Thomas. He saw the danger, he followed his man. Lloyd fails. And the ball runs in, and Donahue goes for it. And Sam Jones thought that glory was waiting, and Donahue came across and did very, very well.
Yeah, he did. He just wouldn't come down for him there. Look, he's waiting for it to come down, and Dion just comes across and defends it really well, because you just think it's going to drop for Sam Jones, but it doesn't quite fall for him, and it's a corner to Cardiff Met.
First corner of the game, and it comes to the visitors. And one really can't overemphasise how strong the sun is as the ball is aimed towards Vincent. It's headed clear. Elliot Evans takes his time. Clark gets enough on the ball. Cleared then by Thomas. Back up by Craven. All a little bit untidy and scrappy. And Vincent, followed by Cartwright. Cartwright's head does enough. Gossett. Intelligent play by Gossett. Knew where Lloyd would be and found him. In front of Lloyd is Clark calling for it. There also is Bradley, who hasn't been involved yet. And one does sense that there could be a very, very competitive game here this evening, an equal game, as the ball is aimed again towards danger man Lloyd, and Lloyd does very well to get his head to that. Clark, watched by Chubb. Clark does very well to get that in, and Alex Lang alive to the danger.
Yeah, good from Caernarfon again. Again, Lloyd started really well. Just the only problem then was obviously Clark was outside. You know, did really well, get in front of the defender, but crossed the ball, and you know, you'd idea wanting him in the box. But yeah, you know, it's been a decent start by Caernarfon. Cardiff Met, you know, a couple of free kicks and a couple of corners, but you know, it's been a decent start by them.
They haven't played, Chris, Met for 3 weeks. I'll wait. Clark finds Bradley, gone too early. Yeah, they haven't played for 3 weeks. Does that cause a team to become rusty?
Yeah, it's a little bit strange this year because normally it's 2 weeks, so you finish the season, Welsh Cup final, and then you play the semi-finals the week after. But we seem to be a week behind this year for a reason I'm not sure about. But yeah, look, it could work both ways. You could have a couple of players with bumps and bruises and knocks that you allow the extra rest. You've got 3 weeks, obviously, to work on a game plan and embed it. But you know, if you look, some teams who are coming into it in a little bit of form, you know, would probably not want the break. But yeah, those 2.5 weeks, some teams might have a friendly, some teams might just train. It's a bit of a strange period, really, where you finish the season and then that 3 week break. It's not ideal at all. You're getting a rhythm of playing every week, and then you get that disturbed.
Two goal attempts from the home side so far. Williams, again, Vincent on his shoulder.
Dealt with that quite well there, Mark Williams. I just thought Vincent was going to nick in front of him there, but he dealt with it quite well.
John. Outside John is young Owen. John decides to go direct, looks for Lloyd. McCarthy's there, it's beyond McCarthy. Lloyd as well.
Certainly something they've looked at Caernarfon, that ball in behind. You know, Morgan Owen played one before down the side, and Griff John just played another one now over the top in behind McCarthy for Lloyd. So, you know, it's I'm sure it'd be something that Rich and his staff will have looked at.
Short corner. That was a good ball in by Owen again, wasn't it? The young boy. The flick doesn't give Caernarfon the throw in. Good play by Joe Evans. He was determined to clear the ball away, but the ball in again, and again Lloyd is the target, and Lloyd pulls it back wonderfully. Williams can't get there, and it's cleared by Matthew Chubb. And slowly but surely you feel that Caernarfon are getting a grip of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. That ball again, we've been playing 13 minutes, and it must have probably 3 or 4 times now. So, but now, you know, when you feel like you're on top in a game, you've got momentum, you've got to take advantage of that.
Bradley, far post. Vincent was the one back, and again Lloyd strikes the ball against McCarthy. Owen is with him. Lloyd opts for Williams. Williams, good ball in. John! Good save by Lang. And good contact from Griff John, who's yet to score this season.
Yeah, more good play by Caernarfon. This time was Mark Williams. Little sort of stood the ball up, and then Griff John just coming onto it, and it's a save you'd expect Lang to make straight at him, but it gives Caernarfon another corner.
And Bradley takes it, and again Lang does just enough. Darren Thomas and Kabongo. That's another corner, and Caernarfon will feel that they need to make capital out of this pressure, and Bradley moves from left to right to take every corner.
Yeah, I'm not sure on Dixon Kabongo there. He could have just let the ball roll out for a throw, and he's kicked it out for a corner. And you talk about, you know, getting teams building pressure and not getting the crowd up. You know, that's probably the 4th corner Caernarfon have had now, or, you know, just builds pressure.
Bradley again. Vincent misses it completely, and Gossett gets the contact. Well, everybody expected Vincent to contact. He didn't. It came to Gossett. He couldn't hit the target.
Yeah, mate, just clipped it in, and you can see it all the way, actually, Danny. You can see it all the way. It's a good contact on it. You can't direct it towards goal. But again, that's got to go down as a chance now for Caernarfon. Again, you know, that, as we just said, Nick, the pressure's starting to build, and Cardiff Met have got to stop this now. They've got to take the sting out of the game. They've got to try and slow it down. you know, Alex Lang got to take time out of on his goal kicks. This can't happen, because otherwise Caernarfon will get off head of steam. You know what they're like here, and they'll end up scoring a goal.
15 minutes played. A good 15 minutes for Caernarfon. John collected in midfield by Price. Strong player, finds Sodi. Sodi forced back. McCarthy sees Elliot Evans on the run and finds him. Price, that's not accurate enough, and John can clear.
Yeah, they've just got to have a spell on the ball here, Cardiff Met, like they're doing now, and just maybe get the ball at the other end of the pitch. I know it's gone out for a Caernarfon throw, but try and, you know, stop the ball from coming out a little bit now and pen them in. But yeah, just Danny's chance there. I think he does see it all the way. Yeah, he does as well. Oh, that's got to go down as a good chance. That see it all the way, and he's just missed the target.
Evans. It's one chance after another. No goals. First playoff semi-final of the weekend. Evans. Elliot Evans. Vincent beaten by Williams. Donahue. It's important he kept his eye on the ball, and he did. Sam Jones was waiting to pounce. Again, excellent by Owen. But that's a foul. Referee thought of playing advantage if there was any. The foul by McCarthy.
Yeah, that right side for Caernarfon has started really well. You know, Morgan Owen and Louis Lloyd, they've linked up really well. You know, it'll be something that Ryan will be looking at with Cal McCarthy and Barnaby Sodi, just making sure they've got to try and stop that. You know, Morgan Owen stepping out, Louis Lloyd delivering the ball, because otherwise it could come back to cost them at some point.
Clark waits. Cartwright waits. Bradley also waits. It's all the way. Griff John and Vincent again hesitates, but the ball is cleared in the end. Referee keeps an eye on what's happening off the ball. Back in by Owen. Looks for Lloyd. McCarthy. It's a good battle between McCarthy and Lloyd, and the experienced McCarthy's got his hands full.
Absolutely, yeah. We've already highlighted it a couple of times, and you know, one thing about Lloyd is he's sharp, he's quick, and he's direct, and he wants to take people on. Yeah, decent defending there, just sees him out. Vincent and I think it was Joe Evans just dealing with Griff John. Obviously, he had that chance before, but yeah, opportunity now for Caernarfon with Morgan Owen taking the throw in.
Owen. That's a goal kick.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan will be too fussed if Alex Lang takes a bit of a time out of this now. Just slow the game down. You know, you're 18 minutes in. Listen, Caernarfon have built up a bit ahead of steam. You've got to try and, you know, nullify that now. So, you know, he's doing well, Alex here. He's walking across to the other side, taking his time on a goal kick. You know, if you're Rich, you're frustrated with this. But if you're Ryan, you're really happy. Just take the sting out of the game.
You actually coach your goalies to do this, don't you managers?
Couldn't possibly confirm or deny that.
Sodi. John intelligent header, not just a header finding Louis Lloyd, but he's beaten.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? You said before, you know, everything's coming down the Caernarfon right in, and we haven't really mentioned Sean Bradley, have we? You know how good he's been for Caernarfon over the years. It's in particular this season, and we haven't really talked about him much this year so far in this game.
Yep. Richard Davis, the Caernarfon manager, and Ryan Jenkins. One seemed to be studying, the other seemed to be looking for the ball. Price. Sudden, quick ball by Clark. And Lang has played well, actually. He's done what's necessary, what has been needed of him. Williams. If that reaches Bradley, it was a very good ball. What a touch by Bradley. Bradley goes down. Play on, says the referee. Thomas. And no free kick given. And at the moment, there's no doubt about it, Met are having difficulty in keeping possession. And Bradley had gone too early.
Yeah, you're looking at the likes of Tom Price now, Dixon Cabango, Elliot Evans, experienced players, just to steady the ship and, get some passes in. They've got a lot of experience, Cardiff Met. The playoff, I've been in the playoffs a lot, and obviously got to Europe a few years ago, so a lot of the players here have played a lot of games. So, you'd be looking at the likes of the leaders there, Joe Evans as well, and just to steady the ship.
Sean Bradley, he's scored 4 times this season against Cardiff Met. And that includes 1 hat-trick against them. But we still await the first goal, and we approach midway through this first half. And again, Clark has gone too early. And just to remind you, tomorrow on S4C Live, programme starts at 12 noon. Newtown and Penabont in the second playoff semi-final. Happy memories, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. No, of course. Not so much last year, no. Of course, but certainly coming here, I think it was 3 years ago when we had that unbelievable game, which I don't think I recovered from fully, really. 5-3 in the end. It was, it was a fantastic game, and got us into Europe. So, tomorrow will be a real close game. Be an interesting watch, certainly.
That's aimed towards Vincent. Joe Evans, who'd stayed up for the long kick. Sam Jones tries to win it. Thomas. And everybody knows that if you look for Lloyd or you look for Owen, you're in good hands. Lloyd clears. McCarthy there first for Met. Gossett. Gossett to Donahue. Williams, highly experienced. And this is the kind of play, Sam Jones utterly frustrated, but this is the kind of play by Caernarfon that can just give a glimmer of hope to Ryan Jenkins' team, where they hesitate, some would say mess about at the back, and Met will want to take advantage of any glimmer of opportunity.
Yeah, I think with the players that they've got, we talked about Sam Jones and Vincent and Elliot Evans. I think if they're going to win the game tonight for Cardiff Met, then in normal time, then it'll be one of those 3 that has to produce something. They've certainly been good players this year for Cardiff Met, but they'll be the ones that are going to have to create something, I think, for them tonight.
Lloyd cleverly past McCarthy. Lloyd does beautifully. In the end, Evans steps in. Owen. Yep.
Yeah, he does need to complicate his game there, Louis Lloyd. He's done the first part, just put it in the box. He's got Lloyd in there, he's got Bradley in there, he's got Thomas joining in. He doesn't need that extra touch and try and beat McCarthy with a little bit of a trick. He's got his half a yard and put it in the box like he did early on in the game.
Into the second half of the first half. Zach Clark. 11 goals for the Caernarfon side in the league this season. Williams waits. Vincent there first. Bradley. Donahue. Powerful. On the charge. Caernarfon possession.
Hey, look, he got the ball there, Chris Craven.
Bradley. Yep, Kabongo got in, but it's a Caernarfon throw.
They're real good outlets for Caernarfon, Bradley and Louis Lloyd. Real good outlets to give you that threat and behind, and they've got a little bit of quality as well. And I talked before just a moment ago around the 3 players for Cardiff Met, and certainly if you look at the front 3 of Clark, Bradley and Lloyd for Caernarfon, I think if Caernarfon are going to do something, it'll be through them 3 as well, with Darren just behind.
Well, Owen has everything in his game, including a long throw. That's a good backhander to the far post. They couldn't capitalise. It was Louis Lloyd who was there. And again, Chris, that has to go down as a chance. I think there was offside in any event, but a well-worked throw-in.
Yeah, it was. Again, just a throw-in, put it in the box. Yeah, it's got... Yeah, just a flick on, and that's so important with long throws. You know, if you can get that first contact and get it going into the box, and you've got a real chance of getting something, whether it's off the opposition or whether it's off your own player, you know, it opens up the whole box. And Lloyd wasn't that far away, as you say. I think it was offside, but yeah, a couple of little things are happening for Caernarfon,
but no goal.
Well, that'll be the disappointment maybe from Rich. You'll probably feel that they've had the possession, the territory, you know, the half chances, maybe one or two decent chances, but yeah, they haven't scored.
Come on, go. Foul given.
Yeah. I think Gossett threw Evans to the floor, didn't he? But I think Elliott, just there you go, just a little pull in his arm there. So yeah, well done, linesman. Don't often say that, do we? So we give him a bit of praise. He got it right.
It's not a decision against your team, Chris.
Exactly that, yeah. Yeah.
And suddenly it's gone a little bit quiet, and Met will be happy with that. They'll be satisfied with that. Williams.
Yeah, they've navigated that first part, haven't they? I think, you know, the Lloyd has caused a few problems down Caernarfon's right, but, you know, they'll be happy they've got through this point. But now is the bit where, you know, you always say keep it tight first 20 or so, but now is the bit where you've got to impose yourself on the game now. So you've quietened the crowd down, but you've got to make sure that you do your job well. There's still, look, that ball's on all day. You know, again, I think Yuan's played that, but that's the one that they're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, and it's up to Lloyd now that he's got to get in. He's got to get his quality right.
Well, we've probably mentioned Morgan Owen and Lloyd more often than any other player in this opening 27 minutes. Up the slope. Vincent. John does well. Owen. There first was Barney Sodi. Yet another throw in. This time goes short. Williams. Owen went, but Elliott Evans saw the danger. He clears. But at the moment, all they can do is clear and then give Caernarfon an opportunity to come again, and they have to soak up the pressure. Owen looks for Thomas. Intelligent run by Thomas. Now then, there's a shot there in from Clark. And it's yet another corner.
Yeah, again, feel a bit sick and tired of saying it, Nick, but again, that inside that, you know, that Cardiff Met left channel, that Caernarfon's right channel, they got in again. This time it was Darren, just a little pullback, got blocked off, but it gives them another corner.
And again, Bradley to take, and again, the tall men wait. Away by Sam Jones. And he and Vincent come back to defend all of the corners. In again by Donahue. Lloyd on the other side this time. Out only as far as Thomas. Quick ball. Lloyd. Clever ball. Vincent on his own. Price. John on his way back to his defensive duties does well. Elliott Evans finds Joe Evans. Evans looks for Sodi. Cartwright's with him. Price aims for Jones. Jones cleared off the line. What a clearance by Griff John off the line. Sodi.
Well, that's a huge chance, isn't it? Looking at it again, I think Vincent just runs there. I mean, is it Donahue underneath the ball? It's a great pick out. It's a great cross, and yeah, as soon as it came to me, I thought goal here. Yeah, good ball by Price. She spots him there. Yeah, just off the line. Yeah, it's a good ball in, and you just think, oh, you know, has he got a decent contact on it? Yeah, he's had to swivel his head a little bit, but good defending as well by Griff John. I think, you know, smelling danger. You talk about that for your defenders, and he's gone back on the line and you know, goal-saving clearance.
And that perhaps is a lesson for Caernarfon. Yes, they've enjoyed the possession. Yes, they've created the chances, but they haven't taken advantage. With half an hour gone, they could have been one behind.
Yeah, that bit of concentration, I'm sure, you know, Rich and his staff will be saying that you know, one ball in, you know, they've not marked properly, and it could, listen, they could be 1-0 down.
That's Noah Edwards, formerly of Caernarfon, and winner, of course, of the Welsh Cup this year. Here, supporting old colleagues, Donahue, one of those, on the run, on the charge. Bradley did well under pressure. It's a very, very good tackle by Chubb. Cleared by Price. Kabongo.
Yeah, Sean Bradley's eyes would have lit up then when they 1v1, and it was a real good challenge by Chubb.
It's a competitive game, and whoever wins this semi-final is going to have to fight for it.
Yeah, you just think that he's just going to, yeah, it's a good tackle, yeah, does really well. Chubb's coming across there and just denying Bradley. Yeah, but you know, Cardiff Met, since those barrage of corners, they've settled in, and you know they probably had, you know, now with the goal-saving opportunity, the best chance of the half, you'd say.
And it was a chance, it has to be said. Evans looks for Vincent. John. Vincent on his shoulder. Clearance only goes as far as Elliot Evans. Lovely touch. Sodi. Sodi watched by Owen. Sodi, in the end, Williams' presence. It's made life rather unnecessarily complicated for himself. John clears. Evans.
I'm not sure whether Rich is trying to change shape. He's shouting a little bit to Darren Thomas and Sean Bradley. I don't know whether he's just tweaking something that he's seen. We'll have to keep an eye on that for the next couple of minutes, see if he's changing shape. Looks like Darren's playing out on the left rather than the central area, and Sean's gone a bit more central. So there's something to keep an eye on.
Price beats Williams to the ball and looks for Elliot Evans. Cartwright. Closed down by Sam Jones. Jones wants to take this quickly, and Cartwright will need to be careful. And for those, you see the shadows, for those opposite the side where the ball is, believe me, it's hands over the eyes, as we have the company also of Lee Kendall here scouting, on a scouting mission apparently for Penabont.
Yeah, I had a chat with him before. Yeah, he's come all the way up, and then he's going back down to meet up with the team ahead of their game tomorrow.
Chubb. His chance to put a long throw into the penalty box. Plenty to aim for. Vincent and John. John's done well. He's played well against Vincent. Price. Oh, McCarthy has to be very, very careful here. Was that really a foul, or wasn't it? Or was it Thomas trying to take advantage? In any event, intelligently, the Met have taken the kick quickly, and Lloyd brings it. And he really has had a good half. That's asking too much of Clark. And that's a little bit wild by Lang. And there certainly have been scrappy, untidy periods. Let's have another look at this.
Slight one. Could hear Rich below as he wasn't happy with it. Yeah, it's a slight one. Probably Carl McCarthy showed his experience a little bit there, and probably didn't fancy getting in a race with Darren Thomas and just fallen over and bought the free kick.
Thomas looks for Clark, and there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it wasn't very subtle then, Zach Clark. He just barged him straight in the back, and yeah, the referee was never not going to give that as a free kick. But yeah, what we got sort of
it's a Saturday of sport on S4C tomorrow, beginning with the game at Newtown. And then the rugby in Llanymddyfri. Lewis Rees.
Yeah, big loss for Cardiff Met. It's always impressed me when, the last couple of years he's played against us. Always done well.
Injury keeping him out of this semi-final. Williams.
Yeah.
As we reach the 35-minute mark, 10 minutes of the first half to go, and I would imagine that Met will be fairly satisfied.
Yeah, I think so. I think after the first 10-15 minutes, and listen, Caernarfon went banging at the door, knocking at the door constantly, but they had a bit of territory. They forced some long throws, which they had a couple of chances from, a couple of corners. Lloyd got in behind, but Met have sort of quelled that a little bit. The crowd have gone a bit more subdued now, and I think it's picture perfect for Met now. They've had that chance as well, which they probably feel they should have taken as well.
And there really have been scrappy periods, it has to be conceded. But of course, when there's so much at stake, it is a semi-final. You're more prepared and willing to forgive the scrappy play. There's not been much of that from Lloyd. He really has played well. Kabongo, that's a poor pass. John Owen. Clark with Evans. Clark's had to fight hard for anything in this first half. Lloyd intelligently takes the ball, the throw quickly, and finds Clark. Joe Evans clears. And again, it's down that right side that Caernarfon's hope.
Yeah, feel a bit like broken records, aren't we, saying it? But it certainly, I've been really impressed with Morgan Owen. You talked about Louis Lloyd, but you talk about why he plays, but their numbers are, you've got to get the numbers, you've got to get your assists, you've got to get your goals, and that'll be as much as he has done really well tonight, and he started the game well. There's a couple of opportunities turned down to put the ball in the box, and that's probably a side of the game, especially with young players at times, you've got to improve on.
Owen. Gossett back to Owen. Cartwright. Plenty of space for Donahue. Surely not. Looks for Clark. Good play by Donahue. It's that play that's led to yet another Caernarfon corner. Yeah,
he stepped inside on his right foot. He's got so much quality, and he sees things that probably a lot of players wouldn't do. And he just thought, Clark just got off the back of Joe Evans, but Joe just got a scratch to it, and now it's another corner.
And Bradley will really be hoping that one of these corners produces the first goal of this semi-final. In it goes. Yeah.
I would say as much for Met now, you're looking at Joe Evans and Matt Chubb. They defended the box really well.
Aberystwyth's Ewan Lewis avoided the drop, and will he still be at Aber next season? And you could ask that question of so many players linked to their clubs this summer.
Are you starting rumours off here? Or
do
you know something? Or?
Nothing better than the rumour mill, Chris. Don't even tempt me.
Oh, brilliant.
You should hear, viewers, where Chris Hughes is going to manage next season.
I asked for that, didn't I? I asked for that.
Craven finds Sodi. Vincent in front of him. McCarthy, captain, puts the ball in, looks for Sam Jones. Cartwright clears. Kabongo. The game needs a moment of class. Clever ball.
Yeah, that's probably what a little bit there it's probably lacked. It's been an honest game, full of endeavour between the two sides, but just probably lacked that little bit of quality. We've seen it from Cardiff Met with the ball from Price and the movement from Sam Jones, but just the good defending from Griff John, which meant that the score stays 0-0.
It's a slack ball. Sam Jones, Williams with him. Thomas clears. McCarthy looks for Elliot Evans. Elliot Evans, not offside, pulls the ball back across the goal. Somebody should have been there. And Vincent will know he should have put that ball in the back of the net.
Oh, that is a huge chance, and it just looks like it's bobbled over his foot. I thought the linesman's flag was going to go up. He gets in Elliott, composes himself, and then puts it across the box. And does it bobble over his foot? We'd have to see that one again. Let's have a look at it from this angle. Just picks him out, Elliott. Oh, just bobbles up. Oh, that's unlucky.
Yep.
You know, Vincent would have been thinking, here, I've got it. It's a tap in, 1-0, but just go over his foot. And it's a huge let off for Caernarfon.
It was a bobble. There's no doubt about it. Jones, there first was Williams. And it's probably fair to say that the two best chances of this semi-final have come to the visitors.
Yeah, just a long ball in behind. Oh. Just a long ball in behind. But Elliott does really well, composes himself, as I said before, and just slides it across, and he's thinking, here you go. Here you go, Tom Vincent. Tap it in, put us 1-0 up.
Well, Caernarfon have signed a new defender called Bobble. Ryan Bobble. Clark can't keep that in.
That's terrible.
I was about
I'll
to
give
say.
you it, though. I'll give you it. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad effort.
Into the final 5 minutes of a mixed first half. Mixed standard. Mixed for both sides. Mixed emotions, certainly for Caernarfon, who will feel that they should have capitalised, but Met will feel equally that they should have taken two very, very good chances.
I think coming to half-time, I know we've probably got 4 or 5 minutes to go, but yeah, I think Ryan will probably be a bit more happy than Rich in terms of how his side have ended the game. Ended the first half with the two chances, the Sam Jones one and the one that just bobbled over Vincent's foot.
Just to remind you, if it is a draw after 90 minutes, it's straight to penalties. Perish the thought, thinks Chris Hughes from his managerial experience.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go home for that, if I'm being honest. I won't say for them. Yeah, bad memories, bad memories.
Kabongo. Evans. Owen. One of the better players in this first half, as is Lloyd. No foul on Lloyd. Sodi can't keep that in.
Cal McCarthy's done better against him in the last 15 minutes. He's got up against him. He's been more aggressive against Lloyd and stopped him from turning, so he can't face him up. And you saw him then on the halfway line, the header between the two of them. McCarthy's gone up, left a little bit on him, which is good. And listen, young, and you're in a game today. I'm not going to let you, dance around me. So, Cal's lots of experience, and he's probably dealt with him better in the last 15 minutes, certainly.
Well, if the game was as spectacular as the weather and the view, we'd be enjoying it a little bit more. But look at that, Chris.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Reminds you of Denby.
We've got the castle.
You have?
Yeah, you got the
That's
castle.
why I mentioned it.
Yeah, just no sea, nearly. Similar to mould.
Vincent. John. And it is very, very quiet for a semi-final. And that probably means that Cardiff Met have achieved, to a degree, what they came here to achieve. Bradley, who has been quiet by his standards. Thomas, equally so. Cartwright. Price clears. Sodi aims for Sam Jones. Evans. Good ball back. Doesn't quite get to Evans. It should have reached Evans. If it had reached Elliott Evans, he would have been in on goal. And that's the kind of pass that must frustrate a manager. There's another opportunity to put the ball in. And Craven's had 2 of those opportunities.
Yeah, they'll be frustrated with that. You know, Elliott, again, he's just starting to influence the game now. And I think we talked before about him and Danny Gossett, and he just started to run off. He picked the second ball up there, made a decent pass to Chris Craven, went for the return. Craven couldn't find him, but you know, that'll be a little bit of a worry for Rich. You can see him on the screen there, and he'd be, you know, if Elliott starts to dictate the game, because we know, you know, he's a creative player, one of the better creative players in the league, and if he starts to have a say on this game and influence it, then you know, he'll put Cardiff Met in a good chance of winning it.
Just the 1 minute to be added to the 45. And you've already suggested, Chris, it'll probably be Ryan Jenkins the happier.
Yeah, I think so. I think he'd be. He would have expected the bit of pressure early on. Yeah, I think he'd be pleased. You know, if you look at the last 15 minutes, Caernarfon haven't really created anything and probably not been in, you know, Cardiff Met's box at all. Whereas Cardiff Met have certainly threatened, and you know, the two chances, the one off the line and the bobble over Vincent's foot.
And there we are. Chances, yes. Good periods, yes. Not so good periods, equally so. A good firm header was the earliest opportunity from Griff John. That forced a decent save. And then there were chances created by Elliott Evans, but missed by the visitors. It still all hangs in the balance. The half-time score in the first semi-final of the weekend. Caernarfon 0, Cardiff Met 0.
Dyna ni. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Un tîmau sylwebu. A dyma ni ar olygfa, ddim di newid. Ddim di lladd newid rhan y sefyllfa yn y gêm. Chwaith, mae'n ddisgwyl ar yr egwyl. Dim goliau fan hyn, ond chi'n gwybod be, ni'n mynd i newid hynny nawr, achos mae'n hen bryd ni edrych nôl ar goliau gorau mis Ebrill. Dewch i ni weld Ebrill hyd yn oed. Dewch i ni edrych nôl ar gol y mis. Nawr o'r Wrexham gallu creu rhywbeth. Lily Jones a'r gwaith creu yr ergyd o bellter sydd mewn i'r gol di synnu pawb am ergyd, am eiliad Cara Jones.
Sy'n tynnu dŵn y bel yn ôl ac yn gryfreislo felly. O, gwych! McManus yn sgorio'r Berdwerydd.
Chwaraewr y mis a brosese.
Mae'n edrych yn hawdd, ond di ddim yn hawdd chwarae teg iddo fo am gol.
Marshall. Sam Jones yn y ffordd. Marshall yn llwyddo gael cwestiwn mewn law, Danny Williams. A'r ergyd yn wych at y gorau ucha. Jones. O dal yn o'i seintiau. Leo Smith yn mynd am y gol. Gol gampus gan Leo Smith.
Tawe nôl ar y byd yma, legal yn ergydio! Dyna chi gol! Mone legal yn ei dalu'n berffet!
Goset at Ben Mar. A Darren Thomas yn y gwrs Cosby. Louis Lloyd yn troi, yn creu lle iddo fo'i hun! Ac yn unioni'r sgôr!
Meddiant dal. Efo pen y bont i'r canol! O, mergyd! Gan Chris Venables! Wel, allwch chi ddim taro hi'n well na hynny.
Davis. Chislovich. Mae di mynd heibio I Davis. Chislovich! Adrian Chislovich!
Harrington. Unwaith eto, croesodd mewn I Dad Davis yn cael ei ben iddi hi. Franklin yn mynd amdani hi. Nawr ta'n disgyn I Williams! A mae Cai Connah nôl ar y blaen.
Di Paolo di canio ddim yn ni, boes bach. Hwn fatha siswn yn yr awyr.
Dyna ni, goliau gorau mis Ebrill. Felly, gewch chi glywed pwy sydd wedi ennill nos llun, 10 gloch mae hwnna. Ail gyfle nos Fawrth. A'r gemau ail gyfle fydd y testyn. Rhaglen ôl ar gyfres. Digon eich bwynt wedi bod trwy'r tymor. Trwm yr ennill fydd yn penderfynu. Bydde gyda ni'n y dre newydd fori, dre newydd pen y bont. Ni ddim callach pwy fydd yn y rownd derfynol yna. O'r ddau yma, be wneud i'r hanner cyntaf na, Owain?
Mae wedi bod yn eitha ddigon bler. Swn i'n tybio Ryan Jenkins fydd hapusa. Dwi'n meddwl mae'r tec-teca mae o 'di ddod i fewn i'r gêm, just ddim isio rhoi unrhyw beth o ran y dorf, o ran yr awyrgylch, trio tawelu nhw. Dyn nhw'n di chwarae gormod o bêl-droed yn hanner i hunan, a mae di gweithio ar hyn o bryd. Yn amlwg fi raid iddyn nhw agor i hunan allan rhyw ben os maen nhw'n mynd i drio ennill y gêm yn y 90 munud, ond ar hyn o bryd, dwi'n meddwl yr ymwelwyr fydd hapusa.
Ie, felly mae cicio'r smotyn i'r dacteg yn barod. Yn i weld cwpl o'r cyfleoedd. Caernarfon wedi cael digon o feddiad, ambell i gyfle, ambell i beniad, gan i weld nhw fan hyn.
Ie, nath nhw ddechrau yn ddigon cry ar y droed flaen, a wedyn fel mae'r hanner di mynd yn ei flaen, y cicio gosod ydy'r bygythiad mwyaf. Lot o gicio cornel, a just teimlo bod Lloyd yn un clyfar, nid fo sy'n cael y croesiad yn fama, fo sy'n denu'r amddiffynwyr. Mark Williams wedyn, croesiad o safon, Griff John just methu Quay troi i'r ochr, ond ti just yn gweld, efallai bod Griff John ddim yn mwyaf, ond mae gen fo dipyn o naid. Mae'n neidio'n gynnar yn fanna, ac chwarae teg i lang yn y fan ar lle, a'r bediad sa fo'n disgwyl i wneud. Ond ie'r bygythiad o'r cicio gosod. Bradley unwaith eto, yr outswinger os lici di, a Danny Gossett yn cochi i ddyn. Fydd o'n siomedig o fethu'r targed, ond just meddwl, os mae Saudi sydd yn mynd i farcio fo drwy'r dydd, fe Gossett ffansi'r nesaf.
Ie, byd nhw'n poeni gormod ar yr egwyl Caernarfon. O'ch chi'n gweld nhw'n bach yn fwy rhwystredig. Chi hefyd gweld Met yn cael ambell i gyfle tua'r diwedd na, bach o feddiant, dim byd gwych, ond eto, cwpl o gyfleoedd i Met, falle bydden nhw chydig yn nerfus ar yr egwyl. Ie,
just yr hanner cyfleon, ti'n gweld bron union rhan safle. Tro mae Sam Jones, mi oedd o cam sefyll, croeso da gan Price yn fanna. Sam Jones yn y lle yna, bod o cam sefyll, peniad da. A chwarae teg Griff John, y gredd naturiol o'n ddiffyn y fanna ar ei linell yn clirio, ond union rhan safle bron y bod, y nesaf dwi'n cymryd, Elliot Evans oedd yn y safle. Ti'n gweld un bas hir, a dyna di'r dacteg ganddyn nhw. Elliot Evans wedyn cadw i ben, a ti'n gwybod be, mae'n rhoi hwnna ar blat, heb y bobl. So hon yn cael ei chwarae'r gai artificial, gai 4G, sa'n aros ar y ddeiar, a sa Vincent yn sgorio. Ond sbia ar y bobl berffaith ma o safbwynt Caernarfon, sy'n golygu nad ydi Met ar y blaen.
Y llethyr, y bobl, a Nick Parry'n sylwebyn yn Saesneg yn sôn am rai yn bobl, bod Caernarfon di arwyddo fe. Oedd hi mor agos...
Nick Parry efo pun?
Ie, pwy feddwl, ie. Oedd hi mor agos o hynny. A ni'n sefyll wrth ochr y cae tua diwedd, a oedd gymaint o led ar Met lawr o dde. Mae hwnna'n un peth yn amlwg bydd rhaid i Caernarfon fod yn wyliadwrus ohono.
O, wrth gwrs. Ac mae rai bod yna wendid yn rwla, oedden ni sôn cyn y gêm am faint o goliau, maen nhw wedi ildio tymor yma. Mae'r profiad sy'n gan Dion Donoghue yn anhygol. Dwi'n meddwl bod yna chwarae'r gwell mewn meddiant o ran amddiffynwyr yn y gyngrair, mae o mor dda hynna. Ond yn naturiol, fel ti'n mynd yn hyn, eich ti'n colli rhywbeth o ran y cyflymder tu ôl iddo fo, ac swn i'n fel bod Met yn trio chwarae tu ôl ben Dion Donoghue gymaint o bosib.
Ie, mae'n mor ddifyr, o'ch chi'n synhwyro o'r tîm yn mynd yn rhwystredig, oedd y dorf yn dechrau mynd yn rhwystredig, perffaith o ran Met am hynny.
Yndi, wrth gwrs, pan ti'n mewn gêm oddi cartra, dyna di'r dacteg drwy'r amser. Mae Met yn ymwybodol pa mor anodd ydy medru dod i'r cae yma os mae'r awyrgylch yna yn codi. Faint o bobl sydd yma, a maen nhw'n disgwyl i rhywbeth ddigwydd. Felly, yr ymwelwyr wrth i bodd ar hyn o bryd, ond fyddai'n disgwyl gweld rhywbeth chydig bach yn wahanol gan Caernarfon. Adam Davies ar y fainc i prif sgoriwr nhw, so ni'n disgwyl i weld o'n eitha buan.
Ie, mae'n opsiynau yn amlwg, 3/4 awr mawr i ddod disgwr fan hyn. Fori wedyn ni, Dre newydd yn cwrdd â Pen y Bont, a mae Sgorio wedi bod draw. Wel, dim gwylio gemau, chwarae gemau gyda criw Pen y Bont wythnos yma.
Beth chi'n disgwyl off Dre newydd dydd Sadwrn?
Wel, maen nhw bod yn y dda adeg un o'r tymor. Maen nhw bod
yn wastad yn codi momentum erbyn diwedd y tymor, so bydd e'n gêm galed.
Played this before, you know. So'n llawer bethau i wneud efo ni, yn y gogledd. Pwy yw'r gyrwr gweithaf ar y weidydd? Gabe Kirkhoff. Mae di torri card 3 gwaith. Tymor un yn mynd fyny gogledd.
Pwy yw'r ffefrynnau ar gyfer y play-offs? Ni.
Hoff le i stopio ar yr A470.
We're not speaking about that, are we?
Nah.
Chill, bro. Oh, nice.
Most used app, not including social media.
Oh, Candy Crush i fi.
App tywydd. Chos ti'n methu mynd i'n unllad ydw yma heb pari am glaw neu hael. O, diar.
O, you're gonna go, yeah.
Goro? Oh, waw. O, na ni. A lot.
Yes.
Death Row Metal. Oh, Death Row Meal. Metal. Oh, wow.
Death Row Meal.
Death Row Meal.
Oh.
Good sirloin steak. Medium rare. Peppercorn sauce.
They're just main meal.
Yeah. Da ni'n neud...
Starter calamari.
Da ni'n mynd... Iawn, oce.
3 course, eh?
Starter calamari.
Yeah.
Main.
Halloumi.
Steak.
Yeah.
Pudding. Chocolate fudge brownie.
Yeah. I'll go like a, I don't know, vanilla cheesecake.
Vanilla cheesecake?
Yeah, that's simple.
Vanilla block. Oh, nice, boy.
Oh, na ni.
Pwy yw'r person mwyaf enwog yn contactless ti?
Dan James.
Dan James, yeah.
Ooh. Swansea friends, is it? Mind.
Where's Burns, is it?
Where's Burns, aye?
Cardiff friends, is it?
I fi, probably Tim Flowers. Premier League winner. Tim Flowers. Go Gayward.
Dim glue.
Go Gayward. Tim Flowers. Wow. Wow. Interesting.
Hwnna'n mynd. Uwch, illa.
Bit of movement.
Dynamics gone.
Right, then.
Ie, os ti'n gallu swapio dy fywyd gyda rhywun o'r tîm am ddiwrnod, pwy bydde ti'n dewis? A day in the life.
Henry Jones fi'n gweud.
Oh, 100%. Henry, yeah.
Am bywyd.
Yeah, I fod yn honest, neb. Dwi'n apus gyda beth bywyd fi a...
Louis Way.
A neb, ie.
Na, dim hwnna. Na, dim hwnna, choi. Na, sbia. Mae'n disgyn ffordd na. Na, dim hwnna, choi.
You just said that one.
No, as in hwnna os ti'n mynd am rhywun yna.
Yeah, I can't get it, but...
Na, paid. Go for that. No, paid am yn ymgylod. Yeah, hwnna'n iawn.
What was your first email address? I know mine. I was c.c.f.c.fan@live.com. Cardiff City Football Club.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
It's gone.
Chi'n set o'r fyfyr.
Champions, boy.
Be ni fan eich? Lan to, ie?
Ie, gaethon ni dipyn o sport lawr ym Mhen y Bont yn ware Jenga gyda'r boys. Right, bit of musical chairs has happened here, Chris. Dylan Ebbs and OTJ, they've gone for a little break. Me and you've been up in the gantry watching that first half. What are your reflections? What have you made of it all?
Yeah, I think the first half, I thought Caernarfon started the game really well. They've had corner kicks, some long throws, created half chances, some chances. I thought Louis Lloyd has looked really threatening down the right with Morgan Owen, and then just as we got towards the middle of the half, I thought Cardiff Met grew into it. Obviously, the chance with Sam Jones that got cleared off the line, and then the chance with Elliot Evans, and it's just bobbled over Vincent's foot. So I think Ryan will probably be the happy of the two managers at half time. But it's a tight affair as they all are in playoffs.
Ebbsy mentioned before the game, Chris, obviously there's a lot in the air at the moment in terms of the league, the formation of the league, but one thing we all love are the playoffs. There's just something magical about this time of year, isn't there, Chris?
There is when you don't lose in the final on penalties, yeah. When you win it, like we did 2 years ago here, I'll keep that very quiet. I'll keep that quiet, I don't want to get lynched, but certainly when we won it 2 years ago, great. But obviously last year was tough when you lose it on penalties. But look, the format of the league with that European spot, there's something for, certainly the clubs in the bottom half and, the 3 or 4 clubs in the top half to aim for.
As a manager, Chris, you've won these playoffs twice. What's the secret?
There isn't one. I wish there was. I wish I knew. We wouldn't have lost last year, but no, I think look, the teams here have had 3 weeks since the last game, so it's about just keeping the spirits high, training well, and then coming into tonight and hoping things go for you. Cardiff Met feel they should be ahead at half time with the 2 chances they've had cleared off the line and the one that bobbled over the Vincent's foot. But certainly for the second half, all to play for, and hopefully it doesn't go to penalties.
Tomorrow, Chris, your former club, Newtown, they welcome Mhen y Bont. How do you see that one going? That one, I feel like, could get a bit tasty, couldn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking about this before. I see it as a battle of the 2 centre-forwards, I really do. I think it's going to be an Aaron Williams v Chris Venables, and I think whoever out of them two has the better day, I think will tip it the edge towards their team. I've been really impartial with that answer, haven't I?
Yeah. Because I've got to say, when I think of Penabont, Newtown, I think of that semi-final game back in 2021, I believe, when Newtown, you won it. I think it was 86, 87 minute goal. Do you think Penabont might be looking for a bit of revenge after
certainly.
that one?
Yeah, I think so. So, fond memories of that. Obviously, we finished the season 7th, got a bit of momentum going in, and I think Jamie Breeze come off the bench and scored, and then obviously we came here a week later and won the tie. So certainly the 4 teams in it will be looking at that, and the pathway into Europe is fantastic for all clubs.
Okay, Chris, I feel like we might be playing in this game in a moment if we don't move. Thank you so much for your company.
Thanks.
A nôl, a ni nawr at un. Tîm y Sylwi yr ail hanner.
Thank you, Chris. And let the picture tell the story. No words can describe that. It's a spectacular evening here. All to play for. No changes in either side. And an attendance of 1,285. A creditable 1,285. And that's more than were present to watch the Welsh Cup final. So congratulations to Caernarfon Football Club. They've worked hard to promote this game, to generate interest, and they'll be delighted to have crossed the 1,000 mark in some style. Donahue looks for Lloyd. Cleared by Chubb. And again, one can imagine that the pep talk at half-time will have been come out firing, Chris.
Yeah, well, sorry, I'm about out of breath. I just legged it round there.
I was quite impressed.
I know, thank you.
That's why I asked the early question, just to see, is he out of breath or not? Lloyd. Gossett. Williams. Back to Gossett. Gossett gets the ball in. Bradley hangs and waits. And again, Morgan Owen.
Caernarfon just starting the same manner as the first of them. They forcing some bit of pressure, a bit of long throws.
Owen does very well to get that in. Collected by Gossett, who manages to keep the ball in play and manages. Well, that looked like a Caernarfon throw-in. It was. Handball is the claim of Richard Davis.
But again, good early cross by Morgan Owen. Gets the ball out of his feet, puts the ball in the box, but just couldn't miss that. Couldn't miss Tom Price out, and he dealt with it.
John, who had the first real effort on goal early in the first half. Cartwright looks for Lloyd. Lloyd does very well to head that down to Clark, but cleared by Craven.
Richard looked like he swapped the 2 wingers over in the first sort of 2 minutes. I think Lloyd's playing on the left now and Bradley on the right. Maybe they just thought that maybe see if you can get a bit more change out of Craven down that side and Bradley v McCarthy.
Sodi. In the end, John steps in. He really has played defensively very, very sound. Good ball to Lloyd. Lloyd, foot on the accelerator. That will be possibly the first booking of the game, and it is.
Yeah, well, we just mentioned it then, didn't we? He's tried in the first time, Louis Lloyd, and stretched his legs, and Craven's had to bring him down. And now, you've got to play the full second half on a yellow card. Look, he just gets away with him, has a little grab at him, yeah, nailed on yellow. But interesting that the switch, whether it's something that Rich has seen in his staff in the first half, and got Louis Lloyd running at Craven now, and he's on a yellow card as well.
So the pattern of the first half already established. So far as the earlier minutes are concerned, Caernarfon doing the pressing, and the experienced Dion Donahue prepares to take the kick. He scored an own goal against Met earlier this season. Can he create one now? Vincent heads clear. Elliot Evans, clever. Kabongo, no real options for him apart from Evans, who really is on a fantastic determined run, and the ball doesn't find him, and Evans is in utter frustration And Kabongo, you have to say, should have found him.
It's a really good counter-attack. You know, covers the ground really well, and then Dixon Kabongo, but just couldn't find Elliot Evans with that pass, and you know, but it's gone out for a corner, and they can do that to your Cardiff Met. They can turn defence into attack really quickly with the you know, the players that they've got, the athletic players that can spring forward.
Yeah, what a charge by Elliot Evans. Price with the corner kick. Aims for Vincent. And comfortable catch for Josh Tibbetts, who's certainly been the quieter of the two keepers. Owen looks for Bradley. McCarthy steps in. Craven with Lloyd. And Lloyd really has created an impression here this season. And spreads the ball, looking for Bradley. McCarthy just does just enough, but the danger's still there. Elliot Evans, who's having a good start to this second half. Yep. Fair fight. Play on. Sodi. That's a foul by Griff John. And once again, Cardiff Met have written what was an early storm.
Yeah, I think Elliot Evans just won the ball back and released the pressure a little bit. Now it's an opportunity for Chubb, for Vincent, and for Joe Evans, and see if Tom Price can pick one of them out. Probably not going to score from the first one here, certainly, but you try and get the second or third contact as it drops, and for Caernarfon to defend quite high.
Price looks for Vincent. Vincent wins it for once. Now the ball's loose, there's offside. And Sam Jones didn't get hold of it anyway, but the flag was up early.
He just showed then the importance of that first contact. You know, hangs it up to Vincent, he gets a flick, and then obviously Jones and Sodi and Evans are trying to get off the back of it. So yeah, just a ball in the box. Look, he doesn't have to really jump that high. He gets a little flick, and then Sam Jones thinks he's got to tap him, but the lines and flags goes up.
And in fairness, Owen, the defender, who's had a really fine game, was there in any event. Out comes Lang all the way to Tibbetts. Newtown and Penabont wait. Bradley realising that someone needs to get some momentum into this game. Good early ball. And again,
that's disappointing, isn't it? I know it's a tough pass, though. I know it's a tough pass, but you know, again, Vincent's in and he's through on goal, and Jones just can't find him.
Chubb.
But again, you know, turnover of possession. Caernarfon are quite spread out, and those spaces in between full-back and centre-half, they're on, and they're trying to exploit that. Cardiff Met with Jones, Sodi, Evans and Vincent. It's just whether they can get a little bit of quality together, like they have done for the two chances, really, and put that together again to fashion another opportunity.
Two fine opportunities. It's just the final ball. Gossett. And these teams simply cannot keep possession at the moment. Thomas. And somebody needs to step up. Players like Thomas. Owen, that's a good ball in. Headed out by Craven. And the service from both Owen, particularly Owen, and also Lloyd at times, has been excellent.
Yeah, again, you know, Morgan. Oh, what I like about him, Nick, is he's not standing around. He's touching, he's putting it in. You know, he's not wasting any opportunity to put the ball in the box. And if you're a forward player playing with him, that's a dream.
Oh, well done, Mark Petch, referee. He ducked to avoid that one. Keeps the game going. Tibbetts. Easy for Chubb. Owen again. John. Again looks for Clark. Thomas steps in. Now then, Thomas goes down. And the referee looks hard. And there's only one question. There's a head injury to begin with. But which way does that go?
I think he's given a free kick just outside.
And was it inside or out? Well,
we'll have to see that one again. It looked outside. That was my first reaction. It was outside. But good from Darren Thomas, though. The ball's gone in. Griff John's played a long ball forward. Cal McCarthy's headed it down, but Darren just picked the ball up. The first to it in front of Dixon Cabango.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's come from Darren, just anticipating that knockdown and getting in front of Cabango, using his experience and driving forward and winning his team a free kick right on the edge of the box. And I'm sure Dean Donoghue, Sean Bradley, Louis Lloyd, they're all round it. They'll all fancy this.
Well, the Met skipper has been booked for that. Normally, Cardiff Met would be relieved that that was adjudged outside of the box. But then normally, you haven't got the quality that Caernarfon have from kicks as close as this to the box. Bradley, who scored a wonder goal for Wales C recently against England, and also there is Donoghue. And as the sun sets above Lang's goal, it's Bradley, no! Post!
Clever from Bradley, everything everyone's expecting Donoghue to try and whip it in that corner, and he's just come across it, and it's just hit the outside of the post. You can see it there. Yeah, the outside of the post. It's a good idea though, inventive, bright, intelligent. Everyone's expecting the Donoghue one, and he's tried to bend it around the wall. Just unfortunate and unlucky for Caernarfon. It's hit the outside of the post and gone out for a goal kick.
And what was interesting was to see Alex Lang in the visitors' goal clench a fist and wave it towards his defence in celebration of not conceding from what for Caernarfon was a good opportunity. Sodi holds Gossip.
That's the two fullbacks for Met booked as well in the first 10 minutes of the second half there. Craven and McCarthy, just see it again, just the outside of the post. But you'd be saying now, get the ball to Lloyd, get the ball to Bradley, you know, Donoghue and Morgan Owen, feed your wingers, get them running at Craven, get them running at McCarthy now, put them under pressure.
Price aims again, of course, for Vincent. Vincent just doesn't get up, he's beaten. Price, cleared by Williams. Clark does well to push that out to Bradley. In front of Bradley is Lloyd. Lloyd overhits that, and Clark's not going to get to that. And again, it's the quality of the last ball, Chris, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a good counter-attack again, and you know that's happened a couple of times now on both sides, and I had a feeling the game might become like that, a little bit stretched, spaces, and you know both sides have got powerful runners, but again Lloyd just got in there, and you know sometimes he's put some good balls in the box today. Sometimes you find that with young players a little bit inconsistent, and you know we had Clark in there who was at the back post, and he just hit it over his head, but yeah, you know we always used to say when we used to play against Caernarfon, if the game got stretched, they were always a real threat because of their counter-attack quality that they've got.
Evans. Offside given as we approach the hour mark. And slowly but surely, both managers will be thinking about making changes.
Yeah, it took the words out of my mouth, Nick. I was just about to say that then. I think if you look at the benches, obviously Adam Davis springs out, unsure on how fit he is. He's been carrying a lot for a while, but you know he's obviously scored goals for Caernarfon this year, been a real threat for them. So would he be one that that Rich might look at. Joe Foe as well, who's a wide player, and then you know, Cardiff Met, Finley Skiverton, who I've seen a couple of times, who looks you know, a decent player as well. So both sides have got some options on the bench.
Now then, what price penalties? There's a good half hour to go. Gossett. Cleared by Chubb. Owen. And even Owen overhits the pass. Well, it's 5th against 6th. Caernarfon finished the season 3 points behind Newtown, 5 points above Met. And Met, of course, secured 6th place despite the fact it had 3 points deducted this season. Vincent can't win that ball. Price goes alone, and that perhaps.
Yeah, Elliot Evans is fuming with him. He's saying, "Just give me the ball. I'm unmarked. I'm in a position there where I can go and hurt them." And he's done a bit of rush of blood there, Tom. Just play it into Elliot. Elliot's unmarked, and maybe get a 2v1 and try and get Sam Jones in the game. But yeah, you know, the game is just ebbing along now. Both sides are sort of counter-attacking each other and having moments in the game, and it might just come down to a little bit of a quality or a mistake. And you know, that they're always tight affairs, playoffs, and this is no different.
Just a reminder, highlights of this game will be available on S4C at 10 o'clock on Monday night, and again 6:30 on Tuesday. It might be a short programme at the moment, but plenty of time for action. Yeah, Williams wins the corner. The experienced Mark Williams. And the crowd playing their part. But this game needs a goal. It needs something special. Bradley prepares to take yet another Caernarfon corner. Thomas offers. Bradley goes again. Yeah, you can see the frustration, and you can see the anxiety increasing, and that'll be equally true of Ryan Jenkins. Owen opts not to go for the long throw. Gets his chance. It's a good cross in again, potentially overhit. McCarthy clears. Donahue back in, looking for Cartwright. What are they thinking, Chris, the managers?
Yeah, look, I don't think they'll be looking at the clock just yet. I think they'll be focusing on their team's performances. I think, you know, as you said at half-time, Ryan have finished them stronger, probably be more happy. I think Caernarfon have forced a lot of pressure, but probably their last ball, their final ball, is what would have disappointed Rich. You've just seen that then, you know, too many times it's gone over the last defender, or it's gone out for a goal kick, and they've probably not asked enough questions.
That's the first yellow card for Caernarfon. Lloyd.
It looked like a similar foul to what he got Craven booked for, really, wasn't it? But they've probably not asked enough questions of the Cardiff Met back line, you would say, with their deliveries and with their quality into the box, their entries into the box, and probably Rich will be a little bit disappointed with that. But Ryan will be thinking, you know, listen, the game's a little bit stretched. We've got players like Elliot Evans, Sam Jones, who can run and who you know, got quality, and we can find one of them on the counter-attack. We might be able to fashion a chance.
Price looks for Vincent, and he has not been effective up front, has he?
No, it's been difficult for him. I think he just can go with his left foot there and put it back across goal. He's tried to go with his outside of his right boot, but
he's worked hard.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. Look, yeah, just looking at the bench there, you can see Adam there. Whether he gets a run out today.
On your leg, keeper. On your leg. On your leg. What's behind you, keeper?
Well, Williams enjoys a good tackle.
Yeah, he won't stop working, Mark. I've been really impressed with him this year. Played up here in I think the first home game of the season. He was very good on the night.
McCarthy looks for Vincent. And fair play to referee Perch. He's trying to let the game flow as much as it is flowing. Jones, again, a poor response to the pass from Sam Jones, who has, again, worked hard, but simply hasn't been able to leave his mark on this game yet. Sodi with Owen. Owen watches the ball all the way and wins it. Bradley.
Yeah, that last passage probably just summed up the game, really. You know, full of energy, full of intensity, you know, full-blooded, two teams going at it, but just that last bit of, you know, the ball into Sam Jones. He's 1v1 with Dion Donahue, miscontrols it. The ball then comes back, goes back out to trying to get Sodi on the other side. It's a bit of a fighting ball, and it's just been a little bit like that, the game, where you're just hoping for someone just do a little bit of quality to unlock that. Now, whether that's Elliot Evans or whether it's Darren Thomas, for, you know, they're probably the two most creative players on either side, and whether the game needs one of them just to spark it off a little bit.
Vincent down to Evans. Evans looks for Sam Jones, and Tibbetts really hasn't had to do much to keep his clean sheet this evening. Donahue to Williams. Bradley does well. Gossett. Owen. Gossett. Price. And it's an atmosphere of expectation, but frustration as well. They know here that their big players can play better than they're playing this evening. Med Cardiff know that they still have a real chance, and it's getting close to that nail-biting time. Bradley as well. Keeps going. John. Yet another poor ball, and that face paints 1,000 words, doesn't it? Utter frustration. Even the reliable, dependable Griff John, who really has played well, overhit that one.
Yeah, again, we talked about it before, and you know, it's just going to come back to that little bit of quality, or are we going to go to penalty kicks?
We are seeing more and more of Bradley, and that will always give the home side hope. Owen again offering himself. He's worked so hard. Bradley outside is Williams.
Yeah, it's certainly been a focus down the right-hand side for Caernarfon.
Yeah.
The first half, obviously, Lou Lodi was getting a lot of ball, and now Sean's getting a lot of ball down that side. But it just comes back to that little bit of quality, as we keep saying.
And again, Owen with the throw. Vincent again, and just far as Bradley. Williams on his left foot. It's wild, and Vincent finds Evans. Now then, it's 3-0. But Elliot Evans cannot find Kabongo, and that's the third time in this second half that Met have been on the charge, have been in a really, really promising position, and the final ball has just not cut the mustard.
They just wouldn't sit down for him, would it? He's got a little toe over the last defender, and they were 3v0, which is incredible. You know how that can happen. And I'm sure Rich will be acting. Look, just lifts it over. Ball just wouldn't sit there. He wants to put Cabango in, and it's a weak header and not directed, and Morgan Owen recovers. But yeah, that can't be happening when it was 3v1 in favour of Cardiff Met. You know, that can't be happening.
There are players out there that already look tired. That's the reality of it. It's been weeks without a game. Craven, Jones, Kabongo looks for Craven. Good ball out towards Jones. Jones watched by Cartwright, and nobody can hit the final pass. Nobody can beat the important man. Yep. And Louis Lloyd's going to have to be careful here. He's had his yellow card, and I think he's been given a warning for an incident, possibly a push after the ball had gone. And he really does need to stay on, you feel, for Caernarfon. That's the silly push.
Yeah, he's got to be clever there, especially when you're already on a yellow card.
In comes the throw, looking for Vincent, past everybody, but not enough to deceive.
You can see Matt Chubb with his hands up there, thinking, how can that ball go all the way through and that we not have a contact on it? But just going back to Louis Lloyd, he's got to be really careful there. You know, another referee on another day could have given him a second yellow there, but Mark's managed it really well.
Williams up towards Clark. Lloyd charged down. Gossett sees the call from Thomas. Thomas has been really quiet. Watched by Craven. Simply cannot control that.
Yeah, it's not. I said to you before about Elliot Evans and Darren Thomas. It's just probably not been a game for that type of creative player. There's not a lot of space, and everything's tight and everything's a little bit frantic. Looks like Phil Mooney's going to come on.
That possibly suggests a change of shape. Phil Mooney, formerly of Druids. And Richard Davies has moved Donahue to play a more forward role before now. And Mooney, of course, can fit into the defensive line.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who he comes on for. I mean, obviously, Lloyd for sort of non-football reasons, you know, he's probably on his last warning, but you'd be loath to take him off.
Well, you mentioned my taking the words out of your mouth. You've done the same to me. I was going to ask you, as a manager, do you look at the conduct of players? Are they losing it? Are they getting into trouble? Pull them?
Yeah, I think you would look at that maybe, or just trust the young lad and just say, listen, you know, keep your nose clean. It looks like Griff John's going to come off here.
Yeah, they haven't played for 3 weeks, and it's going to tell. We're in the 72nd minute, and it doesn't look as if he feels able to carry on. And the message may already have... Yeah, that's the message, and that's perhaps why Phil Mooney has been preparing. And it gives everybody a chance.
Yeah, it'll be a straight swap, I would imagine. Mooney will just come in alongside Ewan Cartwright and take the same role as what Griff was doing. Bit of opportunity to get some fluids on board, and the managers are just below, as you can see them here. They're having a chat. The coaching staffs are both talking to the players whilst the sub's being made. So, you know, it's a little bit of a reset, a bit of an opportunity to get some information on. Everyone's taking a drink. It's obviously a hot night, but you know, that last push now. You know, we're in the last the last part of the game, and we're looking for someone to be a hero. I'm sure that's what both managers will be thinking.
Well, Phil Mooney on to make his 24th appearance of the season, and a sad end to the evening for Griff John. But he'll be hoping that there is life yet in this season, that it's not all over. And whether that is so will depend on the next 17 minutes or so.
Yeah, he slotted straight in as we thought, so alongside Yuan.
First touch for Mooney. Mooney looks for Lloyd. Yeah, and Lloyd really does need to be careful. He's had such a good game. He's only 20 years old, and he's got to be disciplined.
Yeah, it's one of those battles for him and Craven. It's just on the edge, isn't it? You know, knowing the two of them as players, and you know they're both on yellow cards, and you just hope that they both see the game out, because that's the last thing you'd want. But you know, it's on the edge between them two. They're both competitive young players. You just hope it doesn't go over the edge.
Williams again, one of Caernarfon's better players this evening. Good, firm play. Wins the ball.
I think Cardiff Met will probably see this as a bit of a, 0-0 with 15 minutes to go. They'll probably be more happy with that, coming away from home to, a tough place to come, big crowd in, everyone's coming here to see Caernarfon win, and they'll be relatively happy.
Well, the reality is, Cardiff Met have won one game since the 16th of December, and that was against Caernarfon. But they've lost 8 of their last 9 games in all competitions.
That's what the top 6 can do to you, though. It's a real tough yard, and it's really unforgiving. And you can go from TNS to Connah's Quay to Bala, and before you know it, the 3 really tough games against the 3 best teams, and it's hard for you to get any momentum and any results in. But certainly they've done okay tonight.
Craven looks for Jones. Jones has got behind Cartwright. Jones, he's put it over. And that, by a long way, is the best chance of the second half. What a chance.
As he tries to be a bit too clever here, it's a, good little pass, great run. Yuan just misses it. He just tried to chip him. This is one of them, if it goes and everyone says it's a great finish, and now everyone's saying, why didn't he put his laces behind it and hit it in the corner? But the idea is there, because obviously Tibbetts has dived at his feet, just tried to lift it over for him and just hasn't got a decent connection. But again, that's three really good chances that Met have had. Three really good chances.
If you can hear the sound of beating, it's the heart of Iwan Cartwright and the relief that he feels. His error gave Jones that chance. Bradley, he's kept that alive. Bradley, one of the players, of course, who can generate something special, and that's what this game needs as we enter the last 15 minutes of this first playoff semi-final. It's worth saying again, 1,285 here, an excellent attendance. Owen, who's going to get there first? And it was Cartwright, and he couldn't make it count. Williams. Owen. Williams. Again on the charge. Williams looks for Lloyd, doesn't fall kindly for him. Craven's going to bring this away.
That's been the story of the half for Caernarfon, hasn't it? They've got into some really good areas and just really disappointed with their quality.
Kabongo, another player, he stupidly pulls at Danny Gossett, and this is the chance. And when the prize is as big as this, you really have got to make better use of chances like that. Sam Jones has gone too early, offside.
Yeah, there's that space again, just in between full-back, centre-back. They're trying to exploit that with Jones running in behind. We're getting to that point now, Nick, where it's probably we're looking at, what, 15, 16 minutes maybe to go. You know, managers will be thinking now, you know, substitutions. I'm sure Rich will be thinking maybe Joe Foe, maybe Adam Davis to come on. And, you know, I think you look at the Cardiff Met bench, is slightly younger and less experienced. As I say, Finlay Skiverton I've seen a few times as a centre forward. But whether they make any subs, won't be sure on that. But I think, you know, Ryan will be happy with the way the game's going. Rich will probably be a little bit frustrated with his final ball and his quality in the last third.
Lloyd. Owen again. Owen towards Bradley. Gets the shot across goal. And again, it didn't fall kindly for Lloyd. And Lloyd's second half hasn't been as influential, but he's always capable of taking advantage. Williams, excellent. Gossett. Bradley. Even Bradley overhits it.
Just repeat, isn't it? It's the same thing happening. Honestly, there's nothing worse. You're on the side, and listen, the players are getting into these areas, and they obviously don't, not meaning to produce that, but it certainly is really frustrating. Yeah, so it looks like Adam's going to come on.
Well, 14 goals this season for Adam Davis, and he really has had a fine season. Lloyd. It's always that foot in that extinguishes any hope. And the visitors really have defended well. Tibbets. Good ball. Williams finds Lloyd. Lloyd finds Clark. Poor touch by Clark. He's going to have a second chance. And Vincent in the end takes it. Jones feeds it into midfield. Vincent, Price with him. Gossett closing down. Nine minutes of the 90 left. Elliot Evans. Vincent. Williams again. He's had an excellent second half. That's no foul by Evans. One by Evans. McCarthy, the captain, had no idea which option to take. Ran literally into a wall, a defensive wall, and neither of these sides can create that opening. And the change is going to be Zach Clark leaves, and Adam Davis comes on. And like so many, it's not been an easy night for Zach Clark. He's worked hard again up front.
Yeah, he has. I think it's been difficult for him. I think that I'm sure he would say, look, the quality into him, as we talked about quite for a lot of the night, Nick, hasn't been good enough. Listen, he's worked hard. He's obviously a young boy who just come in from Chester, who's just finding his feet in the league. He came in at the start of the season and scored a few goals. Did well for Flint, I think, as well last year. So, but Adam's, a bit of a talisman for Caernarfon, this season. As you say, scored 14 goals, and they'll be hoping in probably the 15 minutes maybe that we've got left, they can fashion a chance. But they've got the quality's got to be better. When you've got Lloyd on one wing and you've got Bradley on the other, you'd be hoping as a centre forward that they'll be able to put balls in, and you can go and attack.
Interesting to see Mark Williams speaking to his manager Richard Davis as much as Richard Davis was speaking to him. The voice of experience from Mark Williams. He's 35. Richard Davis is 38, and ideas will be shared as Elliot Evans himself takes control. His experience is going to be very, very important now in these remaining minutes for Met. You feel now that one goal would do it for either side. Owen loses the ball. Vincent. Jones. Jones sees outside if he does the run of Craven, ignores it. Elliot Evans screams for the ball. That's dreadful. It really is dreadful. And gives the possession away, but in steps Chubb. Gossett. Well, that last incident just summed up the game to a great degree. Donahue. As did that. Even Sean Bradley wouldn't be able to control that. It's been announced today that Kylian Mbappe has officially left PSG. Well, even if he joined Caernarfon, he wouldn't have been able to keep that one in.
You're getting to that stage of the game now, aren't you, where, you know, probably game plans and tactics and probably go out the window a little bit, and it's just like dig in, lads, and, you know, defend well and try and get something if you can get now.
Lloyd looking for Davis, cleared by Joe Evans. Cartwright. Substitute Mooney. 5 minutes of the 90. Donahue. Vincent. Jones and Elliott can't quite create the opening. Vincent has another chance. Finds Elliott. No, he doesn't. Mooney steps in. Kabongo and Gossett. Kabongo, another player who really hasn't put his foot on this game, his authority on this game, as he does so often for Met. Owen. Bradley. Bradley does well. Williams has already looked. Donahue. It's left for him by Lloyd. Donahue really wants to put this ball in. Gossett. Oh, the ball is hit, and Williams may have put Caernarfon into the final of the playoffs. One of the better players in a poor second half has scored the goal. What a strike. The celebrations simply underline how important that goal may be. It's a goal that almost belongs to another match, but it's a goal that gives Caernarfon the lead with under 5 minutes left to play.
You talked before about Mark Williams and his experience, and it's just popping up in the right place. It's a scramble how he gets in there. The ball's bouncing about a little bit. It's a couple of ricochets. There we can see it just falls to him. He strikes it really well. Alex Lang gets a hand to it, but can't keep it out. It's a great little half volley, I think, as it comes in. Probably tried to find him there, but didn't get to him. A couple of ricochets, decent strike, sits up for him in the bottom corner. Game on now. We needed that. Well, there's probably 5 or 6 minutes to go, if not more. See what Cardiff Met have got now, but you can see the relief there from Rich and his coaching staff. But look, you know, big games, big players, great strike. Game on now.
He has played very, very well, and you'd said, Chris, and I agree with you, he has been impressive. He has been impressive this season. Of course, he's been given a yellow card for taking off that yellow shirt, but he won't care about that. And now,
it's important
Met have no choice.
Yeah,
They've got to throw everything.
Absolutely, but it's important from a Caernarfon point of view now that the two wide players, Bradley and Lloyd, they have to match McCarthy. You can see McCarthy just run off Bradley now, and they have to match McCarthy and Craven. They can't let them run off. They've got to be disciplined.
Thomas looks for Lloyd. Overhit. And Met, well, they've got no choice. They have to throw everything. There will be additional minutes, of course there will be. We've had stoppages. We had the injury to Griff John. And there may be a substitute. Yep. And Jake Morris, a young striker, is replacing Barnaby Sodi, who runs off the field because he knows time is short.
Yeah, it looks like for like Morris has just gone on that left-hand side, just in front of Carl McCarthy.
Lang, Cartwright, Lloyd, and you would think that Caernarfon would be concentrating on game management, but it all still looks a little bit frantic.
You've just got to narrow in, get your wide players to narrow in. They've got the midfield three in. Leave Davis up front in his own, and then you've got, when you win the ball back, like now, there you go. You've got runners who can go and explode.
Oh.
But the pass has got to be better than that, because now Cardiff Met, the pitch is open and Cardiff Met are in.
Kabongo, Evans, Craven, Kabongo again. Half a minute of the 90 left. Bradley on the charge. That's a good ball in. This is it. Substitute Davis puts Caernarfon into the final. It was bound to happen. Met had to push forward. They were bound to leave gaps behind. And when you have a striker with the quality of Adam Davis, you can pay the price for that. Caernarfon safe. Caernarfon 2, Met 0.
Brilliant from Sean Bradley, absolute brilliant. Just picks the ball up in the right back position. Talked before about with the runners that they've got, deep positions, travelling, great little ball, little bit of quality is what the game's been missing. 2 bits of quality from Caernarfon. Mark Williams with the first goal, little bit of quality on the ball, great. And then Adams in there. Well done the manager for bringing him on as well at the right time. Give him credit for that. And he's shown why he scored 14 goals already this season. And then, as you're saying it, yeah, that's Caernarfon in the final. It's been a long time coming for them. I think they feel that way. And probably relief there from Rich and his staff, and they probably feel like they've got the job done now, and they can look forward to next Saturday.
Well, 2 substitutions leaving the field to applause the goal scorer Mark Williams, and in fact he's been named by Malcolm Allen as the man of the match, and on his second half performance certainly there can be no doubt that must be right. And Darren Thomas also leaves, and of course their minds will already be on the final. A week tomorrow. Vincent heads down. 5 minutes of time added, and the atmosphere here at the Oval is completely different.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it from a Cardiff Met point of view, and I'll be thinking that they've had 3 big chances. 3 big chances, 2 in the first half, 2 from Sam Jones, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and then the one that's bobbled across the line. And they'll feel that, one of those has to go in. It has to go in, Nick. If one of those has to go in for them, and they'll be gutted, because it looked like Caernarfon were huffing and puffing, and Mark Williams with a smart finish, and then the second goal, brilliant from Bradley, and a great finish from Adam Davis has got him over the line. But I'm sure Ryan on the long trip home tonight and his players will be thinking, 3 good opportunities and we haven't taken one of them.
2 fine goals, the second in particular. They've probably done enough to edge it, Chris.
Yeah, I think second half has been a little bit even, but the quality. Look, we talk Mark Williams' experience with that little finish, and the brilliance from Bradley for the second goal, and the finish from Adam Davis, and that's what Cardiff Met have lacked. But look, the opportunities that they've had, and they'll feel that they've probably let Caernarfon off the hook a little bit.
Yep. It probably would have been fair to say, with some 10 minutes of this game to play, that nobody really deserved to win it.
Well, no, we were talking, weren't we? Like, a little bit of quality, where's it from? And then just out of nothing, really, ball falls in the box, and Mark's drilled it in the bottom corner, and then, the second goal is, full of quality from the run, the ball in, and the finish. And, this has meant now that they can just see the game out and look forward to next Saturday.
Owen and Bradley take the time. Bradley leaves it to Owen. And yes, it's corner flag time. And Owen cleverly finds Bradley. Well, where the final will be played, of course, will depend on the outcome of tomorrow's semi-final between Newtown and Penabont. If it's Newtown, then they play there. If it's Penabont, they play here. "45 seconds before the celebrations really begin. McCarthy. And it has to be said that Richard Davis has had a solid season in his first managerial role. He really has done well, taking Caernarfon not only into the playoffs but into the playoff final.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great point. He's done really well. You know, took over the back end of last season from Hugh, and he's come in and, you know, kept them in the league, and then grown and built this year and got them into the top six, and then, you know, into a playoff final. And one game from Europe.
One game from the riches of Europe, and riches really await teams who simply have to have a modicum of success in the early rounds. But they have to get there first. This is the first of two hurdles. Mark Petch wants Caernarfon to hurry up. He's already looked at his watch 2 or 3 times. Bradley, the creator of a fine, fine second goal. Foul on Bradley.
30 seconds.
And is he going to...
Yeah, just get it in the corner. The ball doesn't need to come out. Job's done. Keep the ball in there and roll on next Saturday.
And before that, just to remind you, tomorrow, Newtown against Penabont, live on S4C. Early kick-off, 12 o'clock start to our broadcast. And one wonders why the referee does not blow his whistle. Now he has. And a clenched fist from Richard Davis confirms mission accomplished. A goal from second-half substitute Adam Davis caused the first celebrations thanks to excellent creative work by Sean Bradley, and then the first goal from Williams, man of the match, on a spectacular stage, gives us a final score: Caernarfon 2, Met Cardiff 0. Let's go and join Sioned David.
Richard, oedd hyn o wastod yn mynd I fod yn dramatig am ddiweddgloi'r gêm yma, llongyfarchiadau, siwr I chi'n teimlo?
Yndi, di blino lot o emotion yn mynd I fewn y gêm na, ond oedd hi'n gêm gyfartal, o'na byd yn ni, a ddech chi jyst gwybod, o'n i'n meddwl na mond un gêm, oedd hi'n gol yn mynd yn ni, nes I ddrogi at first half, so o'n i'n meddwl bod ni wedi dominated y bach, ond gathen nhw 2 chance sgora, so I ddod efo 2-0, mae'n jyst dangos a credit yn players fi, mae'n wedi gadael bob dim allan a mae'n wedi cael ei reward yn un y ffinal, a mae'n ei chance yn Europe.
Ie, fe wedys ti, o dim lot rhwng y 2 dîm hyn yma. Dy fe cymeriad Caernarfon nath ennill y gêm I chi hynna? Ie,
100%. Mae'r hogiau yna wedi gadael bob dim allan. Da chi jyst gorau sbio rownd y cae fyd, a faint maen nhw wedi gani dros the lein. Maen nhw'n masif rhan o beth da ni'n dan. So, credit i'r cofi am I fyd, maen nhw wedi bod ffantastig. A dwi'n meddwl bod nhw wedi signo'r gols na fewn sy'n gol iddi, so briliant.
A Richard, mae'n rhaid i fi, o dathliadau di o'r gol gynta, jyst yn gweud y cyfan, jyst faint mae hwn yn golygu I Caernarfon?
Yndi, mae wedi bod yn breuddwyd, a mae breuddwyd dal I fynd o'n. Mae gen I dal chance, a so fo'n newid y cwb ma'n beth, so mae'r cyfle I gael o, a wedyn, be bynnag ddoeth fo rwan, so fo dda caffeina o adra fama, ond dwi'n siŵr neith I cofi am I ddiwyn I lle bynnag fydda ni.
Wel, hwnna oedd yn cwestiwn nesau. Dre newydd Penabont fori, Richard. Bych chi gyd yn gobeithio am fuddugoliaeth I Penabont fel bod chi'n cael ware rownd derfynol fan hyn ar yr ofal?
Ia, definite, dwi'n meddwl na dyna sy'n ni licio di chwarae ffinal o fama. Mae'r gwair, achos mae'r ddau yn chwarae'r 3G, so dwi'n meddwl bod gen i'n advantage I fanna, ond da chi'n ffinal, dros gymi pwys o flaen mi, I ddrogio ma roi bob dim I fi, so gobeithio ro'n I dros y leins yma.
Richard, llongyfarchiadau iawn, joio'r dathliadau.
Dyna ni llongyfarchiadau mawr iddyn nhw. Owen gyda fi wrth ochr y cae. Oedd hi'n teimlo fel hi'n paratoi am gicio'r smotydd yn armon ni pan oedd angen profiad gen i weld y gole'n hwyrach. Mark Williams yno i Caernarfon.
Ia, fel neutral, pan ti'n mynd mor hwyr yn y gêm a ti'n edrych ymlaen at gicio'r smotydd, ti'n meddwl, os ein yn neis ar ôl gêm wael, mae rhaid ni fod yn onest. Ond Mark Williams, nath o syrenu heno yn ganol cae, lle oedd o'n gwneud chydig bach o bopeth, ond dal i fod y gred naturiol sy'n ganddo fo ymosodwr drwy yrfa fo bron ydy yn y cwrt Cosby. A ti jyst yn gweld yma na, do na ddim safon yn naill cwrt Cosby na'r llall drwy gydol y nos. Mark Williams yn penderfynu reit. Dwi wedi cael digon o'r nonsens yma. Dwi'n mynd i gamu fewn i'r cwrt a dwi'n mynd i wneud hyn. So yn di gallu tharo hi dim gwell ac gol sydd yn heiddi. A dwi'n gweld gathen nhw un arall wedyn, ond gol sydd yn heiddiannol yn gwneud siŵr bod Caernarfon yn mynd i'r ffeinal.
Dyna ni na'r eiliad yn 35 mlwydd oed. Mwy o mateb nawr gyda gŵr bydd ddim mor hapus. Mae Ryan Jenkins, rheolwr Met Caerdydd, gyda Sioned.
Ryan, mae wedi bod yn noson anodd i Met Caerdydd. Beth yw dy deimladau di ar ôl y gêm?
Stori ail hanner tymor, ail hanner y tymor, really. Creu cyfleoedd, os chi'n edrych ar y cyfleoedd heddi. Ond wedi pwyso arno ni, heb os, ond chi'n edrych ar y cyfleoedd, y 3 cyfle i ddau. Sam Jones, 2 cyfle, un off y llinell hanner gynta, yr ail un trio chipo'r keeper, a wedyn un yn mynd reit ar draws y linell hefyd hanner gynta. So, o ran cyfleoedd, dyna beth fi wedi gofyn am, ond eto dyna'r stori yr ail hanner y tymor, ac war y teg i Caernarfon, maen nhw'n clinigol iawn ac be maen nhw'n neud heddi, war y teg iddyn nhw, ac fi ddim moyn cymryd unrhyw beth i ffwrdd o'n nhw, ond o'n i'n meddwl ni di o leia match nhw trwy'r gêm, ac just y moment na lle ni di creu nhw, ond just heb gorffen nhw yn anffodus.
O ran y cyfleon yna, mae Richard Davies newydd weid, chi gath y cyfleon gorau yn y gêm, heb os pa mor rwystredig mae hwnna wedi bod nid jyst heno, ond fel wedys ti, yn ystod y tymor, Ryan.
Ydy, ond pan chi'n colli chwaraewyr fel Lewis Rees a Harry Owen, ail hanner y tymor gyda pengliniau, mae fe'n anodd. So'r sgwad gyda ni, so'r adnoddau gyda ni i taflu rhywun arall arno sydd, mae boys ifanc fan hyn, a maen nhw'n i elwa o hwn heddi. Ac bydd ni'n datblygu a tyfu, a dyma beth mae'r clwb yn neud, mae'n esblygu trwy'r amser, ac yn hynod prawd o'r boys i just cyrraedd y lefel yma. Mae rai ar y traeth yn barod, ni ddim, ni dal yn cysadlu am pethau, ac o jyst mae'n gweud llongyfarchiadau i Caernarfon, cefnogwyr nhw i Rich heddi a'r clwb yn heiddiannol.
Fi'n gwybod, fi'n deall barod am yr haf nawr, Ryan, ond beth mae'r dyfodol yn edrych fel i Met Caerdydd, achos dwi ddim yn gyfrinach, mae wedi bod yn dymor anodd ar y ca, oddi ar y ca hefyd. Beth sy'n credu nawn ni weld tymor nesaf o'r clwb?
Ni'n esblygu trwy'r amser a tyfu, a byddwn ni'n gweithio'n galed i cael beth ni angen ar y cae ac off y cae. Mae lot o pethau wedi digwydd wythnos hyn mwyn i ni ddatblygu, a dyna beth ni'n neud. Na i gweithio ddi-boes i wneud yn siŵr bydd y cyfleoedd i boes ifanc i tyfu mewn i'r garfan, ond hefyd i ni fod yn cystadleuol hefyd flwyddyn nesaf. Mae'r cyngor yn un anodd, mae'n un anodd i fod yn 6 ucha, ni wedi gwneud dwywaith yn olynol nawr, so wy'n hanner brawd o'r clwb a'r boes, so fi'n edrych ymlaen i'r dyfodol i fod yn onest.
Ryan, diolch yn fawr.
Diolch.
Wastad yn hapus i siarad â ni. Ryan Jenkins fyna, drychwch ar y olygfa. Ni bod yn mwynhau hon trwy'r nos o'r olygfa'n datblygu y goleadau yn diflannu yn ar y bach. Ath hi'n ddwy erbyn diwedd. O'n i'n meddwl, o'ch chi'n edrych ar y tîm, o'ch chi'n gweld fel Adam Davies ar y fainc pa mor bwysig allai fe wedi bod. Fi'n gweld yn siŵr yn mynd i ennill ta beth, ond ffordd hyfryd i orffen y noson i Caernarfon.
Wrth gwrs, fyna ambell un yn cwestiynu y ffaith bod o heb ddechrau. Da ni'n gweld yr hediad o fama, a just y nerth, y pwysau ar y bas yn berffaith, a dyna mae o'n neud. Dyna mae o'n neud drwy gydol y tymor, ond yn fwy na beirniadu Richard Davies am beidio ddechrau fo, Richard Davies wedi gorffan fyny yn gywir, yn llygad i le efo'r penderfyniad yma wedi wneud, herwydd y ffaith bod chdi mewn gêm dyn yn gallu dod ar rywun fel Adam Davies, oddi ar y fainc, a bod yn glinigol yn hwyr. Mae'n golygu fod pob penderfyniad mae'r rheolwr wedi wneud, wedi cyfri, a ti jyst yn gweld yma na, dim panics o gwbl, a jyst yn slipio hi rownd ochr lang, dim problem o gwbl. A hwn yn gwybod, ond os grechian ar ôl gynta, ond jyst mwynhau ar ôl i'r ail fynd i fewn.
Oes, a dyw'r dathliadau ddim rhy wyllt. Mae'r ofal chwaith bod yn gwybod, mae hanner y swydd sydd wedi gwneud. Dewch i ni glywed gan y gŵr gath y gol gyntaf na, yr un bwysig, yr un fawr, Mark Williams gyda Sioned.
Well, Mark, what a night up here in Caernarfon. Huge congratulations. What's the main emotion right now? Is it relief because it wasn't a classic game out there tonight?
Yeah, a bit of everything. I think when it gets 0-0, you feel penalties are daunting, and that's a lottery in itself. And when there's not a lot of time left, I just come to Fish just before the goal. He said there's 7 minutes left, and then you start panicking. You just want it to drop for you. And lucky enough, I got forward in the box and they connected. And as you could see from the reaction, the celebration, it's a little bit too excited.
Yeah, your 5th goal of the season, Mark. Just how good did that one feel, though?
Oh, it felt amazing, and they're the reasons I play. I want to kind of give everything I've got, whether it's heading, tackling, everything for this football club, and to my family, my partner, everyone who's watching. It hasn't been an easy road, my career, and I look back now and I put the shirt on, I enjoy it, and yeah, it's a case of just giving something back for maybe the things I got wrong.
You mentioned just now going up to your manager. I've got to say, throughout the entire game, I could see you going into the dugout, having a word with what he was saying. What was the key message? Because it was a tricky game against Met, wasn't it?
It was tricky. We've had some tricky games against them. That they're a really good side. Coming into today, we'd won 1 apiece. We drew 2, so we knew it'd be difficult. They had chances on the break. I think it was just a little bit of that, just to make sure we don't get done on the transition when they were breaking. I think it was Sam that had the chance that just went over the crossbar. They'll look at that, how it could have been different. So it was a case of just being disciplined, but can we nick that goal? Because I didn't want penalties, and I don't think anyone else did in here.
Tomorrow, Mark, one more game to go in terms of the semi-finals, Newtown against Penabont. Are you going to be hoping for a Penabont win so that you can play the final here in front of the Covey Army?
I think so, yeah. I mean, obviously going to Newtown, we haven't got the best record there. I think it's 9-0 on aggregate at the moment, but Penabont have done really well against us here as well, so I think both will be difficult. Penabont, I commentated on that one, the really experienced side, and they're difficult to play against. However, we need home advantage, as you've seen tonight, what it can do, and at my age, when you've got that crowd rocking around, it certainly gives you that extra yard.
Mark, thank you for your time and huge congratulations once again.
A ddyn ni gwrthod y cynnig i fynd i America i siarad mewn cynadledd hefyd. Pwy sydd angen bod yn Efrog Newydd? Fod chi bod fan hyn, neu yn y Dre Newydd. Dyna lle ni fori, criw Sgorio ar ein pennau i'r canolbarth. Dre Newydd Penabont yr enillwyr yn cwrdd â Caernarfon. Y tîm sy'n gorffen mwyaf uchel yn y gyngor sy'n cael y fantais o fod adre. Felly tas y Dre Newydd yn ennill, nhw fydd adre. Dwi'n am yn poeni neb nawr, ond criw Caernarfon eisiau bod fan hyn. Mae'n ddiddorol, achos ar yr olwg yna, falle bydd Penabont a Dre Newydd yn meddwl, dim llawer da ni'n boeni. Ond eto, mae Caernarfon yn tîm peryglus.
Yndi, a weithiau, ti'n gwybod, ti'n asesu, sam llawer o dima sydd yn chwarae'n dda iawn, mae'n rownd gyn-derfynol a rownd derfynol, felly o safbwynt Caernarfon, eich bod chdi'n teimlo reit, da ni wedi cael y gêm na, eich o'na ddisgwyliadau ar ni ennill gartre, perfformiad ddim cweit beth sy'n ni wedi licio.
Dwi'n cofio nhw'n cwpl o flynyddoedd, pan gollon nhw'n ebyn Dre Newydd, oedd hi'n wellter o ennill y rownd gyn-derfynol, oedd hi'n fflat yn y ffeinal, nag ydi?
Yn union, felly o bosib o'i safbwynt nhw, fydden nhw jyst yn meddwl, eich bod yna fwy ddod wythnos nesaf, allan nhw ymlacio rwan, mwynhau'r gêm fori, jyst i weld pwy fydden nhw'n chwarae, ond yn sicr fydden nhw'n gobeithio gweld Penabont yn ennill, mwyn gryn siw fyna awyrgylch danllyd yn fama wythnos nesaf.
Ni nôl fori, mae wain yn rhoi sgidiau nôl mlaen fori hefyd, gêm elusennol gyda Chris Coleman, Ashley Williams, pob lwc! Pob lwc i'r ben glin, diolch yn fawr iawn am eich cwmni, mwy o bêl droed fori, rownd yr fynol wythnos nesaf, ni'n siŵr